Live from the Streamline Mortgage Solutions studio, it's Orlando's own Tom and Dan. Whoopee!
Hello, this is your Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan program. We hope that you will find our presentation precise, joke heavy, and just right. Thanks.
Show number 500 is...
You always got to do something different.
It scared the hell out of me. I was like,
Yeah,
what's happening?
I didn't. I know.
shut
I didn't,
her down.
I didn't want to say anything. I just couldn't think of any other songs that had 7-5 in it. Hey, welcome to A Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Dan.
I'm Tom.
Samantha, our producer's here. Hello, Sam.
Hello.
Let's see here. Butler brought me a birthday balloon of Baby Yoda that is bigger than I am.
Yeah, show it on the camera for the Twitch.
Oh yeah, here I'll put it on the Twitch camera. Here's
So cute.
here's my Baby Yoda balloon here. But Bob, Travis Butler's here. Hey, Travis Butler.
Hello.
And on news today, Mr. Seth Petrozelli. What mic are you on? Great. Oh, sorry. I pressed the wrong button. I apologize.
You went over this before you started, too.
I know, I did. Hey, it's my birthday,
I don't
everybody.
know
Happy
your birthday.
birthday.
I'm 44-year-old man. Very old man. Inflamed prostate, can't sleep, stomach hurts all the time,
Yeah.
IBS, more paranoid than ever.
Yeah.
Oh, it's bad.
You're better now. You're good.
Yeah, well, my hypochondria is not as bad as it used to be. And I don't know if that has to do with COVID or what, but something's going on. But yeah. Hey, welcome to the show. Here we are.
So happy birthday, Daniel.
Thank you.
Um,
Appreciate that.
how does it feel? It's just
I mean,
It makes
you're
me sad.
almost 50.
It makes me sad. I really am. It
Yeah.
makes me sad. Like, honestly, I wasn't going to go
Next year will be the bad one.
Yeah, it is.
Next
That's
year.
if you're lucky, that's your halfway point. And for me, we all know that's just not going to happen.
No.
Unless.
Well,
the
halfway
off-
point?
See, you're definitely more of an optimist
Well,
than
the
me.
offset chance.
passed that a while
Well,
ago.
no, there's an offset chance that I have little dog syndrome like Caesar.
Yeah.
You know, like he's, how old is Caesar now, Andrea? 14. He doesn't look 14. He looks incredible.
Yeah, it'll just get lumpy.
No, he does. You can't tell because he's all white. He's on the gray hairs
Exactly.
right
But he
there.
does. He's not lumpy. He's had lumps, but they go away.
Yeah.
He seems a little slow, but
Well,
that's to be
he's
No,
just a
he's
expected.
sleepy
calm.
boy.
He's just a chill dude.
He's-
Tom and I can't figure
Is he
out
a
if he's
secondhand
really
smoker?
stupid or if he's really smart. But he's one of those. He's not in the middle.
He's on the spectrum on one
But
side.
hey, next week you should come in for the show again. We're going to do a contest. Caesar the dog versus Remy the podcaster. We're going to do a whole...
Oh, that's what. 'cause
Trivial Pursuit.
Trivial
Trivial
Next-
Pursuit.
Yeah, in Trivial Pursuit.
Next week is Rocky's 10th birthday. My dog.
Rocky. Shout out to Rocky. But yeah, it is my birthday. But to answer your question, Tom...
Yeah, he's 10 years old. He's still alive. What do you
But
mean?
he looks
No,
really...
I give birthdays for him when he's 10.
Now, don't take this the wrong way, but your dog Rocky looks older than Caesar.
No, are you
yeah.
kidding me?
Yeah. He looks
Have you
way...
seen? But energy-wise, he's like running around
Yeah, right. But
crazy.
Caesar's just
Sniffing butts.
Yeah, he's just a stoner. Doesn't really do anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, to answer your question, Tom, yeah, it sucks. It makes me feel fucking old and shitty and not good.
Yeah.
Not good at all.
But in the grand scheme of things, 44 and in current day
Yeah.
era is
my
not that old yet.
40
You still dress like your 30s.
Yeah, I do. I'm holding on to it so hard.
Well, I'm not saying anything about it. I do
I'm
the same
grabbing
thing.
onto it. At least you got the muscle tone to pull it off. Like for me, it's just like I end up looking like Joe C. Kid Rock's little friend who died years ago.
Do you feel like every year you get older that you get a little better?
What? I think that's a lie. I think that's what people say. Well, I get better at life, I think. Like, I'm better at this show. I'm better at organizing things here. I'm better at, I'm better at that kind of stuff.
Yeah, because I often find age brings, the old cliche, it brings wisdom.
Sure.
But you do start learning from your mistakes a little bit. I know this is bizarre coming from me, but as I get older, I often find myself like, don't do that. Just wait a minute.
But you know from the past that it feels good if you do it, even though it's gonna screw up. So I'm like, I'm gonna do this.
I also get mad.
It'll be different this time. That's how I think.
It like took me a lot. It took me a long time. Like it took me 44 years. This is embarrassing. It took me 44 years to correctly master something that you do quite well, which is the not to be reactionary and to give it a beat. Give it a couple Mississippis in everything. You know, I mean, unless you're trying to save your kid from drowning in the bottom of a pool, don't give that Mississippi's. Get that now.
Right.
You know, you go for that. You react incredibly quickly on that one. But for everything else that's not really an emergency, give it a couple beats. Typically, you're gonna be better.
I don't know what made me think of this.
But it took me 44 years to actually get okay at that. And even then, I'm not that good.
Do you think after 44 years, at this point right now, you are at the best at the game of jacking it?
Wow.
No,
That took a turn. I did not see that coming.
That's like no.
Or did it pass your sweet spot?
No. That's like jujitsu. That's like jujitsu. You never fully master it.
I think you learn. I think you definitely get better.
Like
you
for
learn
me,
exactly how to time it.
Masturbation is like jujitsu.
Well,
like right now, am I better than I was when, let's say, I was 16? Oh my God, yes.
Right.
But I have a very, very long way to go.
Well, follow me with this logic.
Very long.
Do
Because
some research, man.
well, it's a journey. No, it's a whole journey. I just want to get better. I want to get to the point where I can just sit because I've already mastered the idea of like looking up at a mirror and getting a boner by just like a mind boner.
Yeah, well, that was a long time
that's
ago. You did
impossible.
That's
I
right.
think
That's true.
No, I can still do
You
it.
did that in your 20s.
I can do. I
Test
can
it over
lay,
the weekend.
I can lay in bed next to my wife and just think about things and just like and work it up as hard as like if it's somebody's touching it.
That's super impressive.
I can ask her. Ask, can I do that?
I'm so jaded.
Can I do that? Yeah. See, I can do that.
Really?
Yeah, I can just lay there and I'm like, and it just there it is.
Because
it is. It's
I'm there with you, bro.
Yeah, I'm better at it.
in certain sports,
Like
like the-
Caesar just sat between them like he's a cast member now. Yeah, he's just chilling out.
in certain sports, there's like a law of diminishing returns. So it's like, let's say an NFL running back, they usually hit their prime in their late 20s, early 30s because they talk about by that time you have your strength still, but you have experience that led you. Now, after 30s, then you start getting diminishing strength, and then no matter how much experience you have, unless you're Frank Gore, then you can't do it anymore.
Well, even he's got diminishing strength. It's he's an anomaly.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like
that's a great question.
You get better at jacking it because it's something
But my
most
jacker-
guys do every day. Or
But
multiple
naturally,
times.
my jacker is losing.
Your prostate is not as good.
So I'm getting better at it.
Tom, have you peaked with jacking then? Is that what you're saying?
No, I know.
Oh, he'll never.
There's no way he's
no,
peaked. He does it in such a savage way that he is in a bathroom in complete silence, hiding from his family,
Like
trying
when
to get it
he-
accomplished as
Jacking
fast
like
as
a pit
possible.
crew.
When
That can't be that pleasurable.
I hit my peak at like 31.
Hand, yeah, like
31.
It's all downhill.
Like when you jack it, it's almost as if you're gasping for air.
Right.
You know, it's an involuntary. It's like I gotta get it out. You know, and that's it. Like for me, it's more of
It's
like
an event.
Well, for me, it's like
Event.
it's for me.
Take
Me,
time. I know it's gonna be 30 minutes worth of stuff.
30 minutes.
Me jacking
Goddamn.
off is like me. Think Amy Winehouse going in to rip some sweet, sweet vocals for Mark Ronson when they did the Back to Black album. That's what jacking is to me.
No, okay, yeah.
It's like an artist going in and laying down like
it's a masterpiece.
it's a masterpiece.
Okay.
Even at its worst, it's a masterpiece.
Yeah. So if we watch it, we'd be like, oh my
You'd
God.
be like, this man's a fucking maestro. Look at him go. And
Oh, the saber dancer. Hold on, what's the What does that have? What's going on there?
You don't know about the that's the finger in, finger out.
Oh, no.
How are you supposed to hit the wall?
I'm still ninja jacking it. In and out real quick.
Well, that's called sex,
So,
Why are you guys matching today?
I know.
That kind of freaked
Yeah,
me
so
out.
it
I didn't get the
happens.
memo.
Every birthday we wear magic. We wear our birthday outfits, and then
By the
we're
way-
going to Disney Springs after this.
we didn't even
and we're getting married.
we didn't even notice until the first 25 minutes minutes.
Yeah,
We were
we've
standing
been here
talking
like
to each other.
half an hour.
And then Daniel's like, God damn it. We
Yeah, I
fucking wore
was
the same
mad.
shirt.
I was like, God damn it. I almost wore those shorts.
You guys don't have like 50 other shirts back there that you can change into.
I know we-
Well, I guess.
Literally have.
But I get to a point where I'm just like, well, fuck it. I don't even care.
Yeah, I mean, Crystal finally did laundry. So
Yay!
I had the
She
stack
did
of
that for
shirts
my birthday, by the way.
on the piano, and I was
Oh yes, the laundry piano.
I was shuffling through them. I'm like, oh, I'll take the new Tom and Dan,
Yeah.
the Danger Brain 10-year anniversary logo one. Anyway.
Yeah.
And then
It's,
Daniel looks us up. Yeah, I think our periods aligned. After so many
Yeah.
years of working together, we have
Which is
similar
gross.
thoughts. Yeah.
It's just gross.
So let me plug a couple things.
Yeah,
real quick.
plug some stuff.
Our Father's Day packages, the bundles are on tomandan.com. We've got Realman shirts up there.
Yep.
We got the Tom and Dan leggings. If you want,
I bought a pair, but I got the tiny shorts.
yeah, I did too. The 4-inchers.
Yeah,
The
I got the
Ooh,
tiny
yeah.
shorts, and then I'm gonna get my wife to wear the leggings, and I'm gonna wear the tiny shorts, and then we're gonna do those videos that I know you'll know, evolved fights.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, everybody does that.
You should rent out the jungle for
For
those
evolved
porno-
fights. Can we shoot
What
some
is
evolved
that?
fights?
Is that
You-
like, I don't know.
You haven't seen it? What do you mean?
Come
I
on,
don't know.
don't you look at him fake.
No, I
it.
swear.
Whoa, whoa.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe I don't know that's what it's called.
Yeah,
Is
I
it where
see.
they fight naked
Yeah.
and they, or the winner gets to fuck a porn
Is
star
it
or something?
because Tracy's watching?
No, I don't think she just got her.
Oh,
her I was going
okay.
to talk about
Here
that.
we
She got
go.
her wisdom teeth pulled, so I have to take
Interesting.
care of her. I'm babysitting her.
Oh.
Literally babysitting.
Yeah.
And the last ex had that done too. I get them right at that age where they get their wisdom teeth.
yeah, you
So
love
I
it.
like had to do this.
You
The
love
doctor's like, I don't know if you
Yeah.
had to do this before. I'm
How
like,
many
yes, I
sweet
did.
16 parties have you thrown?
Shut the hell up.
Do you have a penis-shaped egg? Or an egg-shaped penis?
That would be weird.
You know what's funny is I was taking a poop this morning and I looked down and I was like, I can see the egg. Like I looked down, I was like,
Oh, you got the egg?
no, not me, but
Oh.
I'm just saying I could see where.
You get
Like
an
I was
egg?
trying to look at my own penis and be like, well, how does it look like an egg? But then if it retracts enough and the bottom is big enough,
Yeah, if it's still full of blood but retracts a little bit, it
Yeah.
gets that. Little,
It gets
like,
eggy.
little
Yeah.
puff, like a little puff monster.
but yeah, so the
I'm
Tom
on
like a cotton mouth.
evolvedfights.com right now.
oh
Triple X mixed wrestling with winner fucks loser.
yeah, oh you would be Jordan of that, Sam, because you're tall.
Yeah, but
They
they're
like-
it's women fighting men.
Yeah,
Isn't
yeah.
that a win-win scenario?
Yeah, and then the winner gets to choose what.
There's some bad angles
You
on
get
here.
to beat up a woman and then fuck her. Is that
No,
what-
you don't
Is that what he's
really.
talking about?
I mean, that's kind of what it looks like.
That's what it sounded like.
You
was.
don't really fight.
There's a sibling rivalry round.
It's an
No,
exhibition fight.
I like how they
That's
added.
sexist.
They're like, what else do we need? We
Let's
need
make this more weird.
added the
How have I never heard of this?
Let's make it interracial stepsister.
Yeah, they-
Okay, well,
I know it's been around for a while.
while.
'Cause I remember somebody showing me that a while ago. Like a
But it's
couple
like
years
you
ago.
didn't need to do it. And it's always awkward when they're sitting there and it's like they give them they try to give them like an MMA name. It's like, my name's Harvey the Queef Johnson. You know, and it's like, well, that's stupid. You know, now
Also-
you're just goofing
Well,
on
now
it.
I'd be nervous being put in a triangle and all that sort of thing. So maybe that's what they're going after.
It'd be funny
Yeah.
if like
getting queefed on in a triangle.
if it got so popular, similar to like what professional wrestling did, is like they hire MMA guys like Seth to come
No, they
train.
do.
So it looks.
There-
real.
I'll be that stud to do that.
There have been a lot of MMA guys that
They're
have
like,
gone
"That's
and
not
done
real enough."
porno.
Dude, these guys look like fighters. I don't know if
they're-
they are or not.
Yeah, they're amateur fighters, but there have been guys like, well, that one crazy guy that almost tried, he almost killed this.
War Machine.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
War Machine.
I mean, first of all,
He was
fuck
actually-
that guy, but
Yeah.
Oh, I was about to say he was
but
a
a
good-
lot of those.
He was a good friend of mine until
But-
I found out all that stuff.
Yeah, a lot of those guys do.
That adds up. That adds up.
A lot of those guys do like porno. Like there've been a handful of them that because you're out there, you got a good
Yeah, yeah.
body. I mean, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can. We have like sustaining power.
Stamina.
Stamina. Thank you. Sustaining.
Stamina.
He said stamina.
I said sustaining power.
We got stamina.
Stanima Jones.
Does it translate
Sweet.
to
Oh,
intercourse?
being in shape and cardio. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's cardio.
Definitely for sure.
Now,
I could last like a whole day.
Oh,
Really? Nah.
bullshit.
but
I can go for a while for sure. Yeah.
does your
I
partner?
don't want to do that though. I don't.
Yeah, but they don't
I
like
get
that.
bored after like
Also, isn't it
15, 20 minutes.
you're pounding it too hard, right?
Well,
It
what are you
hurts it,
doing?
right?
Well, some people like that.
Oh, okay. I mean, I just like,
people
but that
like-
hurts.
Well, what are you trying to do?
Or her too.
Well, I don't know.
I mean, because
the
like
girl, right?
Well, getting it further in isn't. I don't think getting it further in is pleapleasurable
Well, you're pounding the
For who?
top with
for
your,
anybody.
Oh,
I
yes,
just
it-
don't.
I think so.
like you got a muscle
the
papus.
tip of my head on a cervix.
Like Seth's got a hard muscle papus.
Yeah,
that he's
it's
pounding
hard.
the top. So
Yeah,
it's
it's
like
not good.
It's like if you just had the top and you're like, gah, gah, gah. Like,
What you
that hurts,
really
right?
need.
I got a soft
I don't know. I
pillow.
stare at my abs the whole time. I don't know.
You know,
Oh my!
God, it's the only
Get
way
him
I
outta
can-
here.
only way I
Because
can get
the only reason I do that sometimes is because I want to make sure they look good for her staring at them. So I'm like,
Oh,
they look
so
good. I'm
you're
like, okay, yeah. So I'm
you're
flexing for her. I'm
so
like,
you're like the director. You're checking your own angles. You're like, okay, good thing my abs are still looking good. She's still hot.
exactly,
Unbelievable.
kind of, yeah.
That is.
That makes sense. But
I don't want to
anyway,
make sure
I
I
mean,
don't
I
look. I want to make sure I don't look stupid as I'm doing.
Oh well,
what I'm doing.
I think the
ugly.
the act is not exactly. I mean, everybody at some point looks a little weird doing it.
Oh,
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah,
I
You know,
agree.
but you know what you need, because Tom brings up a very excellent point. You're too hard. You need to be softer. But
Squishy.
if you're softer, then that eats your dick. So what the perfect sex partner would be cardio fat guy, big dick.
oh, you actually, I just invented something.
So like a power lifter. If you can find
power lifter.
like somebody like I don't know who would have a high level of cardio, but would be like a lineman. But you'd need a big dick to make sure that you can extend yourself past the Papus.
I got it. It's you know the blue gel inserts you put in bike seats so it doesn't flare your
Fisher
roids?
has one of those,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
his
Yeah.
pussy lips don't get
Yeah.
raw. Yeah.
So we'll come up with a Papus pillow that Seth
All right.
would strap on to the top of his Papus.
So it's like a boppy.
Yeah, so that when he's pounding it, you know,
It
it
gives you
doesn't
some
get,
cushion.
It's like
yeah.
a cushion?
Yeah, the
It
cushion.
feels like it would block the
Yeah,
depth. The
I
depth
don't like
of the
this
wiener.
idea.
Why?
No.
Because,
Well, but
She
you don't
likes
want to
it,
bruise because I think
yeah, because he's too aggressive.
Yeah, you know, yeah.
And that you're
rhythmic
pounding the
slap,
top.
slap,
That just
slap.
comes
me.
with changing the rhythm up. You gotta you can't do that the whole freaking
He doesn't
time.
understand rhythm. He doesn't know what motion of the ocean
No,
is.
yes, he does.
You gotta do like a little bit, and then you gotta
No, he doesn't.
Well, what does that mean? Are you changing up a fast, slow?
yeah, like grind a little bit, get it, feed off her,
Grind a little
feed
bit.
off her pleasures and stuff. Like what else
Feed,
she's
bump and
feed off her
grind.
pleasures. What are you, a demon? That doesn't
You inhaling
I mean,
her.
listen to her. Listen to her.
Before
like,
we have sex, I
what she's
open your
giving you.
mouth. I have to suck your soul out of your mouth. Hold on.
like I want you to say like +1 like an Alexa. like I'll go faster. Like a -1.
Alexa, what?
Hey Thomas,
I don't know
speed
what you-
up +1.
Papus. Fuck Papus. What's your speed at? Fuck speed is at 31. Fuck speed 28. I'm getting tired.
That's just the speed of the rain. I know. We go.
Alexa, shuffle Papus.
Someone teach Tom how to fuck.
Oh, we don't know. I think
Poor Crystal.
Okay, first of all, he's got 2 boys, so he
He
knows.
must be doing
Well, he
something
can
right.
accomplish having children, but
No, that's
is,
a manly
is,
thing,
Is it
having 2 boys.
enjoyable?
We would have to like one day we'll have to do a chat with the masters with your wife's
Yeah.
sex life.
Yeah.
Ooh, I want in on that so bad.
No, you don't.
Wow.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, he does.
No,
Hey, bring your Papus pillow.
Seth brings up a good point. Seth, do you
I always
look
do.
at men that have boys as more manly?
Oh, yeah.
That's
That's
what my pop
That's why, as much as I don't want to admit this, you're here. And, sorry, he's got way more testosterone pumping through those veins.
But it's not true. I had it tested. Daniel's got more.
Well, no, no, I-
Well, then maybe I'll
probably-
have a boy then. 'Cause I've,
No, probably now since you've tightened up. I bet you have more than I do now.
I don't know. I was always on the low side, so I don't know what it is, but you must have whatever my pop-up had. I only have
Yeah.
boys.
Yeah, I like that.
And speaking of my boys, they
Your balls or your sons?
No, my
Clarify.
sons. They haven't had a haircut in like 4 months or
They
5
are
months.
little Einsteins.
Yeah,
Are they
I
on
was
your
gonna
balls or your sons?
address the we've just given up that I've seen
Yeah.
them in here a couple
Yeah,
of
yeah.
times and
Yeah.
I've never seen their hair brushed, which is weird.
No,
Correct.
don't
Rocking
worry
the
about
Bernie
that.
Sanders.
I mean, he is their father.
Yeah.
You see his hair.
But now Max is starting to grow a mullet.
Yes.
And I want to go
Dude,
full
please.
Yeah.
on long mullet, both of them.
Yeah.
like,
well, first he's got to get a Kool-Aid
luxurious-
mustache.
No,
Kentucky
you can't
waterfall.
let Tommy have a mullet. That'd be too much.
Yeah,
He's already a nerd. You can't be nerd with a mullet.
I think that makes you cooler.
Yeah,
No.
it does.
Because nerds have nerd haircuts, not
You
mullets.
need to get Tommy a tiny hat with a propeller on the top,
Yeah.
and you need to get Max a mullet, and then they'll fit their stereotypes.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Could I
We'll give them the Dumb and
groom-
Dumber haircuts. One has the bowl cut and one has the long.
Yeah,
like,
like
shaggy.
yeah.
that's
Dumb
not
and
bad.
Dumber.
Like I'm getting Maisie the flipper that you put in her mouth to make her teeth look straight, like she's a pageant.
Yeah.
I mean, you just gotta. You can't fight it. At some point, you just gotta give into it, right?
Yeah. If I
Yeah, I'm also putting in extensions in her hair
Jesus.
and making her booty pop at the. Like, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
That's what those parents do that shit.
Padded underwear.
Those parents do that shit.
could I groom them
Yes.
to my stereotype that it's in my head that I associate with them, because sometimes they don't follow. Like all of a sudden Max is like will be smarter than Tommy and certain things.
Oh, yeah,
and
they're
then I'll be
different
like,
kids,
No,
sure.
no, stop that. It doesn't fit.
Yeah, you're off brand.
You're the
Yeah.
the strong
You're the
dumb
muscle.
one.
Yes.
You're the nerd.
Stay in your lane. Yeah.
That's what I want. That's what is already in my head. And they something they don't follow that. So can I groom them so that
stereotype isn't always correct,
It's not. But I do tell my daughter, I'm like, you don't need to worry about school. You're going to marry rich. I tell her that. I was like, you don't need education. Nobody. What are you, crazy?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
just work.
Just look at how hard your mom works. Do you want to be like that? You want to be like that?
You need to find a older rich man.
Yes. With an egg
You
penis.
need to find someone like
God.
and Uncle Seth.
Stop bringing it up.
It's so gross.
It
It's
is.
the grossest thing. In fact, it's so gross that when they were asking him about the egg penis, anybody that says they have an egg penis should be killed on sight. Like, it's just gross. It's just not good. It's bad. Egg penises are bad. Just say no to them.
So we talked about Felicia's fight on our BDM show, all about it. So if you want to listen to the recap,
Indeed.
you can go back and listen to this Monday's
But
BDM
most people
show.
already know she won and is the new champ.
And
She
but
got beat up twice, once in the ring and the next time on the airplane from sitting behind her.
You're such a mean.
you can hear the whole
man.
story at
Yeah.
the BDM show. But I want to ask Seth, like when you get that much, because me and Daniel often talk about like the day and age of you getting a platform or like a super popular platform. Like we always make the comparison of the Johnny Carson shows. Like that's how if a comedian made it on Carson, then his career was made at that point.
Well, like just this in simple, like for me, the simplicity of more eyes on female fighting now than ever because of lack of sports.
Yeah.
Automatically, there's a multiplication kind of a game you're playing there. As far as like, I think more people know who Felicia Spencer is just based on what we all went through than probably
ever before.
So I mean,
But-
you know what I mean? Like, and
makes sense.
plus, she's also fighting a fighter that most people say no holds barred is the best, and she came off like a good champ. So the whole equation is just fucking good. It's really
It
good.
added up really good.
Yeah, really good.
So-
win or lose, it's just good.
And we've talked about how that kind of has gone away with the dilution of everything, and all
They
these
just
numbers
talked
being
about it
smaller.
on the Lipson podcast last week. They were talking. They did the MASH analogy about you won't have that many eyes ever again. you
But
know?
there's still some things like Joe Rogan, like the comedians will talk about it. You get on Rogan, and that'll propel your career to a new level. You'll get an
Sure.
insane amount of followers. So I'm often curious, like, so when Felicia goes through this, she's a main event in a fight, obviously a shit ton of attention towards her or whatever. Does anything happen after? Is there a flood of phone calls? Are people like interested? Like, what does it do for you?
She got a whole box of hot sauces delivered to the gym.
Wow.
wow, wait,
like
we were right, Tom.
like 30 hot sauces from somebody in Canada.
Dear Felicia,
Oh, okay,
this
all
is Texas Pete. I am a big fan of you fighting, and the fact that you still teach the little gorillas just warms old Texas Pete's heart.
All right, so she got the hot sauce.
She got the hot
All
sauce.
right.
That's all.
Wow.
I saw. No, I mean she's obviously.
Good thing she put in all that work.
Yeah.
Well, no, of
She
course-
showed it to me. She's like, I don't think think I can go all through this, Seth. You want some hot sauce? I'm like,
She's so
too
sweet.
nice. Like, I'll take
She's
a
the
hot sauce.
nicest
I'm like,
person.
I'll take hot
Because
sauce.
to her, that hot sauce was sent from Canada, and she'd be like, "Oh wow, this is so great. Thanks so
she's
much."
appreciative.
And I guarantee you, she will write them back and say,
Right.
"Thank you so much," and be the
yeah.
kindest, sweetest person.
Oh,
Seth the
yeah.
only one's like, "Fucking hot sauce. Put that shit in the trash." That's
I don't even
fucking
like
shit.
I don't even like hot food, but I took it anyway. Give it to me.
Can't waste it. I'll put it in somebody's eyes as a bet. Who wants to do a bro bet with me?
So, because I'd have to imagine, do they even give you the numbers of how people that watch it? Are they releasing any of that info?
I'm sure they released it. They didn't give it to us. I'm sure we
Okay.
can find that out. I don't think that's hard to find out. I know it's public knowledge, but I mean, I know she's gotten a lot of phone calls for interviews and stuff. But as far as besides that, I haven't talked. She's literally taken this whole week off. I saw
Gotcha.
her once because everyone went to Alice just to have a quick bite to eat and get together. And then I haven't, but it was the whole gym, so everyone was talking to her. So I'm not bothering her for a little bit. She's going on vacation this weekend, a little road trip with her hubby just to get away, and then we'll probably come back and talk.
So let's talk
Business
about a
stuff.
subject that you really like yourself,
Yeah.
because
What's up about that?
two
And
things
eating butt.
that we didn't talk about, but the day Felicia fought was like the something anniversary of Kimbo Slice's death,
Yeah.
which I thought was weird.
And I knew that, and I was going to post something, but I didn't want to take anything away from it, so I posted nothing but Felicia that day.
Yeah.
And plus, I didn't want to be labeled. I don't know, everything was going on.
Yeah, well,
You have to be careful about that.
I already got an email from somebody, like some random person. It was really weird. It's like, I'll say it. I don't care. Like, I got a Instagram message saying from a troll account. It had no posts, 0, whatever. And they're like, I'm going to out you. I'm going to out you for good. You go against black people all the time fighting and you knock them all out. Everyone will know how much of a racist you are. I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. Like, during this time, I was like, oh,
So you
now
got
I'm not posting
you got my
anything.
messages.
So,
How did my message make you feel?
Yeah,
And,
well, I started sweating profusely immediately just for no reason because I hate being like labeled anything.
So, but it goes to show you a different, like, because now I guess that the Kimbo Slice thing was, there was so much hype behind it that when you beat him, that because you got a flood of calls, like after that
was
changed
Oh yeah, definitely.
your life, and
Yeah.
like a bunch of people wanted to do business with you all of a sudden, and like pulling you this way and that way.
I'll buy a smoothie.
Yeah, I just
It worked out great. 2 years later, filed bankruptcy and got divorced.
Some would say Kimbo sliced up your marriage.
it's just
Can I have my smoothie without comment it, please?
with it's weird to me. It's just like with so many people that like not really opportunists, but that just would see an opportunity with getting in business with Felicia or whatever, with her, the amount of attention she got. You would think
any
that
new sponsors or anything?
yeah, you would think that she would be.
That's the thing. It
people-
sucks because sponsors, she can't do anything.
They locked
with
it up.
sponsors.
Yeah,
UFC
it's
locked it
a
up.
different animal.
So
now.
she'll definitely be probably getting paid more from Reebok, which would
Right.
be nice.
But-
it's the same thing.
But
her
on a
social
personal-
media
but social
following is
media-
huge.
I know, and I need to
Yeah.
help. I need to help her out with that a little bit because she doesn't. I don't think she takes full advantage of.
No,
what she
no,
can do
yeah,
at
yeah.
all. First of all, I told her she has to get a new phone because her phone, the pictures she's posting on social media are not that, or they're grainy and they're not that good. It's an
Yeah.
old phone. I'm like, Felicia, you're fighting a championship bout. You have to get a new phone.
Yeah.
Post
What's a
it.
jitterbug?
She's like, oh, I didn't
And she
realize
doesn't
that.
need anything really other than that.
Yeah. It's
It's okay. Some people aren't, into that.
She's
Yeah.
not
thing, so-
superficial. Like,
Yeah.
but it's business wise. Seth is right. Like
Yeah, exactly. Thank you.
You were on a championship fight with, it's got to be, now I didn't look at the numbers, but with no other sports, it had to have been a record breaking
Sam put it in the Twitch chat room. She
viewership,
said,
I would think.
Sam says the UFC 250 prelims ended up at number 2 overall in cable ratings for the past Saturday night, but the card ended up dead last among all pay-per-views for 2020 thus far.
No way.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. I
Really?
Yeah.
But I think that means all pay-per-view, not just
I think
UFC.
I also think there's a little trickery there in your wording because I believe you did need ESPN Plus to opt in.
Correct,
You
yes.
did.
So there's something else
Yeah.
going on there. That's
Yeah.
not because I know what you're saying, and Tom's right. And this is, I think they're just skewing it differently based on the fact that you needed to opt in for the channel.
What other pay-per-views have there been this year like that?
there was
been
that last
so much.
Couldn't tell
UFC
ya.
fight.
I know that got big numbers.
And I know
And stuff before
WrestleMania,
COVID.
and that's not true. They couldn't be counting WrestleManias or any of that stuff because nobody watched that, and everybody said it sucked anyway. Like when they went ahead with it over
Yeah,
here
I
at the
heard it sucked,
performance.
yeah.
I mean, I've been watching on Mondays, and I guess they'll be live tonight. I've been watching and enjoying it, but just to do the first one like WrestleMania that way, I'd have probably just rescheduled it,
Right.
and just wait till you can at least get a couple of people in there because it was weird. It's just weird.
Yeah.
But personally, I haven't talked to her about like what stuff is because I'm not technically her manager, so I'm not in control of any of that stuff. So I mean, it's on her. But I mean, I would like to know because that's interesting. I never really thought to even question if she's like getting.
It just seems like with that much attention, it's funny because people often assume that like all it takes is for some famous person to mention your name or
Connor Cowboy was the January fight.
Oh, really?
Thank you, Twitch chat room. Yeah, that would make sense.
that would
That's a
make
huge
sense.
name, so that would make sense.
Yeah, that's going to be more popular. But people, they think that like, oh, if this person mentioned you guys, or if this person wore your shirt, or this person, and it's like, man, I don't think that would move the needle. Like, what does that do?
It really doesn't. I mean, people over exaggerate stuff where they think they can get you so much popularity. It doesn't work like that.
And people are right in the chat. They're saying a lot of illegal streams.
Yeah.
That'll take away some of your pay-per-view.
It will.
I might have
views.
something to do with that. I'm just joking. I'm joking.
You're in the business.
I'm joking on the Instagram. I didn't live it, but at the end I recorded something and put it on my Instagram.
that would be frowned
That's
upon,
all
right? Like,
I think it's all. No, you were like they didn't say anything about my camera there. I filmed Dana White coming up to us and putting the belt on, Amanda and stuff like that, and nobody said anything. So I didn't film the fight. It was after the fight.
So
Get him!
Speaking of Dana, speaking of Dana White, and this is the last we'll talk about fighting, but you think that Conor McGregor thing of him announcing his retirement, that's just him trying to get more money over there?
Yeah, I guarantee he's not really retired.
Yeah.
No way.
So what is that move? Just you create a bunch of attention and it creates people start putting pressure on the UFC to
that,
make,
or just puts more the eyes back on you because the eyes were getting on people that are actually fighting now and stuff like that. A little bit off him, so it's just getting eyes back on them, man.
So you just claim. Can you do
that's-
the
and
same
it's so
thing
obvious
5
that's what
times
you're
in a
doing.
row?
I know, but that's what he's doing. It's so obvious that's what he's doing.
But that goes back to
but it works.
That goes back to what you were just saying about. I mean, like
That
he
people are
obviously
stupid?
knows how to manipulate his social media and the messages he puts out there.
Yeah, exactly.
We might have a president that's pretty fucking good at that. I'm just saying. There is some truth to being able to how to navigate that. Unfortunately, I don't do a good enough job. Like if you look at my social media now, I don't. Because in the past, it can be such a negative place and people like to get in there and argue and mix it up.
Yeah.
You're very rarely will you see anything other than a picture of me and Maisie or when we're broadcasting. That's it. Everything else is pretty much off the table for me. And I hate that, but I just hate the negativity too. That's my birthday wish for today. It's just everybody out there, fucking be nice to each other. That's my wish. If you want to you want to get me something for my birthday, stop fucking arguing on Facebook. There's my gift.
Facebook is the word.
Just
like
do
Instagram
that.
and Twitter, it wasn't that.
I'm serious.
Facebook
If do that and prove to me you've stayed off Facebook and have not argued with people in your family and or your friends, and you'll make my birthday very happy.
So
Fucking hate it.
Have you guys? You guys are familiar with the game Guess Who? The board game.
Yeah.
Seth, you remember? It's like you flip up. It's like 2 different, like
I never
red or
played it.
blue.
All my friends had it.
and he has glasses, and you have to
Yes,
say he has
you
glasses.
fly
I
down
remember
there.
that
You
stuff.
guess characteristics.
No,
My
weird
friends
looking
had
dudes.
it, and I always thought it was for babies. Seriously, like
I liked it when I was.
I always I never had it. Like it would
We
just.
should
I
do
remember
Tom
the
and
ease
Dan
of
Guess
restarting
Who.
the game was easy because you just had to flip over them all, and they all went.
Wait a minute. So we're gonna do a Tom and Dan Guess Who. I'll buy the
With
game.
people from the
I'll
show.
buy the game this weekend, and I'll put like all the R team on there.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
a lot of people.
Yeah,
We're gonna
it
go
is.
through a lot.
That's not a bad idea.
So Crystal's been into buying board games for the boys. So we've got like
got Clue?
a
Clue's the
collection. Not Clue yet. That
That's
may
a
be
little
too
advanced.
advanced.
We're going through Uno in the Dennis household. Uno is the
Yahtzee's always a great one.
Uno's. Did you play that last night?
That's
Shoots
like an
and
old,
ladders.
real old person. Ooh, shoots and ladders.
By the way,
Candyland.
shoots and ladders can take an excruciating amount of time to play.
yeah.
I literally
Candyland's where it's at. That's a
Candyland's good.
1 minute game.
I think I
the
sat
best.
down and I played Shoots and Ladders with the boys, and it was like 45 minutes.
Yeah, it's too
It was almost at the end. I was like, no, 3. I was like, God, and all the way back
all the
down
way
the
back,
slide.
yeah.
I'm like, no,
Yeah.
I got to start over again. I was begging.
That's
for
what I
someone to
hate
win.
in Candyland when I get the peanut. I'm like, goddamn peanut! No, all the way back.
We should do like a couples twister night,
right. Yeah.
but we switch the couples.
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I invite my mom? Her titties hit the ground.
left nipple green.
the titties hit the ground.
What is that wife swap, like well-produced porno that's out there?
You've finally seen something I haven't seen, sir.
No,
What?
it's like a it's like a cross between some sort of
the
reality
Playboy
show.
one, or
Yeah,
were
yeah,
they?
yeah.
Oh no, that's
And they're
all
always
those
in the
guys
same
are,
genie room at the end.
The genie room, and then the guys are all tan, and the guys always got like a puka shell necklace.
Yeah. And then they're interviewing them in the limo, and then like, I've never had a threesome before. It's the whole thing.
We
I'm
find
like,
that
what is
this
this?
makes our relationship a lot better. Nothing gets me more rock hard than watching some other man suck on her pussy lips.
So back to Guess Who. So I'm playing it with my sons, and it took a while to explain the concept of like you gotta guess.
Oh, to have audio of that.
Please start filming some of these.
That's my birthday gift. I need audio of you teaching your sons board games.
And I'm not joking. I think Tommy may be pretty close to being smarter than I am. At this point,
wow.
like,
Look
in
at
all
the whole
elements.
room is shocked.
Because I was on Max's team.
He's a clever kid, man.
And Crystal's on Tommy's team, and then it's Tommy's turn to ask a question. You know, like once he got the idea of it, and then he's like, "Is your character looking to the left?" And I was like,
Genius.
and I was like, looking to the left, and I was like, first I started to be
First
like,
you had to put your
that's
hands
not part
up.
of the rules. I would flip the table like.
That is part of the rule.
I'm like, they're all looking the same way, you idiot. And then I look, and I was like,
They're
oh my
not.
God, there's only a certain amount looking to the left. I was like, this.
The fact that you wanted to call him an idiot when you didn't even look at the fucking board game.
You're cheating. And I'm like, oh my God, that's the most brilliant question and Guess Who I've
Yeah.
ever heard. Because
You've told us a few things that he has said or
done,
done,
man.
and I'm like, I think this kid might actually be gifted.
Yeah,
and
he's
Because
super
he
smart.
He
does
thinks
your kid have
differently.
blonde hair? I'm gonna go blonde hair.
Yeah, very
like
generic.
Glasses. I'll go there. Boy or
Glasses,
girl?
glasses.
That's all I got. And I was like, I've played Guess Who when I was a kid. Never dawned on me to ask where the character was
Would your
looking.
character vote in a liberal primary? What? I'm sorry.
God damn.
Would my character vote in the Democratic primary? I mean,
Well, let me start looking at their last names here.
let's see what I got here.
Just, theorizing.
What
here.
is the median
telling you.
income of each of your people's
Did it
households?
blow your mind?
Your character have an egg dick.
Because
Oh, no. Also, how high were you?
it never dawned on me to ask where they were looking.
What
and
was
then
Max's question?
he was it was like boy or girl. Like,
Oh, yeah.
And then but
Can I get a what? Because
I'm like, I think you beat the
he likes
game
to be cool.
because
I
that
think
is
you beat the game.
because that-
You mastered the game.
because which way they're looking actually eliminates the most amount.
But is it looking from your point of view or from their point of view? Like,
Well, then we had to, there took a lot of confusion. I was like,
yeah,
why not
very.
looking to their left or your left? And we had
Yeah.
to, then when he finally, it eliminated half the board and he won. Because after
Genius.
that, it was a beard or no beard, glasses. We guessed the goddamn guy.
sunk your
Well, also, did you pick an easy one? Did you pick a guy with glasses and a beard? 'Cause everybody does that. Everybody goes for, who's the craziest looking? Well, I'll pick that one. And then your first question is, does he have a beret? And you're like, yes. He's like, got it. Easy.
Now I'm stopped working. I'm just making me famous. I'm
Yeah,
just
let's
thought
get
it-
on my
Tommy
son.
in here.
I thought it was for babies. You know,
The
like
Guess Who?
Guess Who? Yeah. Like
Yeah,
as a
it's a younger
kid,
kids, though.
I wasn't like, I think I like missed the spot for it. So by the time I got to play it, I was too old for it and didn't appreciate it.
Yeah.
Then there were
Right.
other games that I considered for nerds that I didn't want to play. Like Risk was a nerd game. Stratega was a nerd game.
Those
These
are
were all
hard.
games that I would like, people would get and want me to play. And I'd be like, I'm not playing that because it's not fucking cool.
We played win, lose, or draw a lot in our house.
Yeah,
We had a
Pictionary.
Big drawing thing. We had to guess.
Like, did your parents go through phases where the new hit board game would come out and then they'd buy it and then you'd play it or they'd play it with their
The
friends?
thought of my parents playing games with me is
Yeah.
foreign.
I mean, I guess you'd have
Did
to
it
have
ever
your-
happen? Do
My
you
dad
remember?
played Monopoly with us a couple times, but it was always a fucking disaster because he'd be drunk and he'd flip the goddamn.
Pass go. That's 200 oxes.
So then we just never wanted to play with him again.
And,
My dad would like make up games. Like he'd like put a bunch of random stuff into a pillowcase, and we have to like close our eyes and guess what it was.
Yeah.
And
What
There's
the
a,
fuck?
There's a hole in the bottom of the pillowcase.
Oh
and
my
you reach
God.
out in there.
wasn't like
Reach
that.
down in there. There's some
But it also-
candy in
Is
there.
this
Oh,
an egg?
look,
You
you
got
got
you caught the snake. I guess egg.
Oh, no.
when you reach in there, just make sure you're really tugging that gummy worm. That's a gummy worm.
No, the weird one was he made
And
up
if you're
with-
not tugging it hard enough, I'll knock your mom down the stairs.
Oh, come on. It wasn't my mom. The weird one was
It was someone's mom.
That's a fact. That's a top hand guarantee. It wasn't not someone's mom.
Yeah, it wasn't. No, sorry. It was my stepsister or half sister's mom.
Oh my god.
Jesus.
As a kid, as you can imagine, we'd open the game, play it one time, lose all the pieces, and never be able to play it again.
That sounds right.
But I had the crazy games, and I was real particular at putting everything back. And you know, I know you're big on the nature nurture thing, and Maisie's that girl.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
When she's done, her Uno cards go back into a bag, and then they go in the thing. Or if she's done playing Candyland, the cards go into a Ziploc bag. She zips it, lays it in there, folds the board, puts it back. Yeah, just make sure everything.
Immediately, not only open the game, when you open the game, they rip the sides so the box flaps.
yeah.
So when you
Yeah,
put
yeah.
the lid back on, it's loose.
You
You gotta tape it.
You gotta put some painter's tape on.
They got loose lid, and then of course, like they lost the spinny thing that you have to fucking spin the arrow. That's
Oh, yeah,
lost.
yeah.
Then all the game pieces, you got only the stands. So not the actual cardboard cutout that goes in the stand.
Yeah.
So you have to just play with a yellow stand to the base.
On the yellow stand.
That's it.
Yellow stand van.
Yeah. And then I'm just looking at my sons. I'm like, you're gonna have a rough going.
Jesus, man.
Better,
What was your favorite
find
board?
your lane.
What was your favorite board game as a kid?
Again,
EJ picked mine. It's funny that EJ knew that Crossfire.
Ooh, Crossfire was good.
Crossfire
What is
was
that?
the
I've never
shit.
heard of it.
I forgot about Crossfire.
I'll
That's
pull up
like
the
a
ad.
teenager game.
I'll
Oh,
pull up
That's
the
not a
ad.
board game, though.
Yeah, that's not a board game. That's like Hungry Hippos.
Hungry
Yeah,
Hippos
not
was
a
a
game.
good time.
I believe the Crossfire
broke it.
would be in
Another game we
the-
can't play anymore. Lost all the marbles.
I-
We have the hippos.
I honestly
thought it was
believe
'cause it wasn't
this.
politically correct.
Connect
anymore.
4 was a big one.
This was in the board game category, guys. Like I'm almost
That's a
positive.
tabletop game, though.
I'm
This is a
almo-
great song, though.
That's like
man.
saying air hockey's a fucking board game.
Here it is.
Crossfire.
The ultimate
I
challenge.
remember this.
Oh, I begged and begged for this for Christmas.
I love 80s stuff.
You're shooting a fidget spinner with a marble.
Yeah.
Well, it was just a marble with a piece of plastic around it.
yeah.
This game was so fucking good.
You'll get caught up in it.
Okay, this is the only time we've played this commercial before.
I used to
on the
dress
show.
like that and play it too.
This is
All black leather, black gloves.
we've played this commercial before on the show. This is the first time I've ever realized that they don't say one fucking word about the game. They just scream Crossfire.
Right.
Well, what are they going to say about it?
No, but there should be a guy that says, "Use your marble gun to shoot the other purple plastic marble thing into the," like there should be some guy.
Like a tray.
No, it's
Yeah.
scream
It's pretty
Crossfire.
simple, though.
Yeah.
But I remember
It's kind of self-explanatory. They showed you what.
my god sisters had that game, and I loved it. They
But it
also,
turned into a weapon in my house because then me and my brothers would just throw the BBs at each other.
Yeah, and they'd hurt.
Well,
you.
you can break the gun off, and you could use that to shoot.
God damn, that's advanced.
You could.
I used
The
to
other
beat my
game
brother
they
and
had
sister
was
a lot.
Mousetrap.
Oh yeah,
That was huge.
Never
but,
had
But there was
Mousetrap.
another one that was like a contained Mousetrap. Like Mousetrap had all these little shitty plastic things you had to set up.
Yeah.
There was a
And
better
that's
It's like
version.
putting together the G.I. Joe battleship every time you wanted to play. It was
There was a
impossible
better
to fucking put
version
together.
where the things were like almost pre-made, and it was thicker plastic, very expensive game that my god sisters had too. It was like the better version of Mousetrap, and you had a ball, a little metal ball, and you'd put it in there and you'd roll, and it'd go through and do all these different contraptions. But for the life of me, I can't remember what the fuck it is, and I
like
want
a
to try
Marble
and find
Madness
it.
or anything like that?
It wasn't Marble Madness. It was just like think Mousetrap, but just
bigger. A possum trap.
smaller, tighter, but like all of the little if you're doing like what are those things called? They're called
Rube Goldberg.
Thank you, a Rube Goldberg. Just a better engineered version of that, like
Yeah,
where
yeah.
everything stayed set up. You didn't have to like take the little crane and connect it to the stick. You didn't have to do any of that. It was just ready to go. So you take the top off, you'd put the marble in, and then you start rolling the dice, and then you'd play.
Because the original Mousetrap, I did have that as a
Hunk
kid.
of shit.
Got it, worked
never had that.
one time, then,
We never had it
we
working.
lost the cage. and
Well,
then,
a lot of it didn't work.
bucket
so
was
like
missing.
you do the thing, and then the cage it'd stick, and you'd be like, hold on, and then it would go down. You'd be like, this thing's a hunk of shit.
Yeah.
Like that was the biggest letdown as a kid is when you get something that the commercial made it to look. It was amazing. But then you fucking got it, and then it sucked.
The Nerf slingshot fucking sucked.
Was it called? Was it called Screwball Scramble?
It's possible.
It's a bunch of plastic pieces that are like connected.
By the way,
It's possible. No, it was
what about Don't Wake Daddy? Anybody have that
Don't Wake
one?
Daddy was a good game, but Seth played that with a pillowcase. He's like,
I played the Harry a lot. The one where you just have the magnetic things you make the face on the guy.
Willy Willy. That's
the
for
poor kid
That's
things.
for shit kids. It's just
Yeah,
metal.
exactly.
It's a magnet and metal shavings. That's
Exactly.
what old iron worker sons would play with in the corner while they're in there when they're in there stamping out like auto parts and getting cancer.
Or the one where you move it, where you move the two balls and you make designs on it. That's a sketch.
That's just that just sketch is legit.
Sketch is good.
All right,
Yeah.
but I would only wite fuck in it, and that's and leave it down for my brother and sister.
How old were you?
I was like 8.
My God,
I was watching Boys in the Hood and like, fuck yeah, fuck.
great movie.
They also got Operation, which is not a good game. It's stupid.
Yeah.
And,
But which version
that
of Operation? Because my daughter has Operation as well.
Ah.
Her teacher brought it loaned it to her to play, and it is the Shrek version of Operation.
Oh, yeah.
And at one point, you have to remove a ginormous green ogre dick. And it's hard.
I've got-
no, it's
It's
but
an egg shaped.
no, there's just like they do. It's like Shrek themed.
Yeah,
you know,
Yeah.
like-
That's better. I got the standard old school
The fat guy.
Fatso.
Fatso.
With the big nose.
Yeah.
They have like a big red nose. Like
Yeah,
that.
it looks like John the Alarm Guy.
You're like,
It does. Looks exactly like it.
you're like, I don't want to even
Shout out to
save this
John.
Fatso.
Yeah.
Why is there a
Your
T-bone?
pre-existing condition of
Yeah.
diabetes. makes
You
Does
you-
know
it
what?
still have the butt cut?
Yeah, it's like,
Okay.
you know what would have saved you? Like
Fatso
right now,
Buttcut.
like right now.
Fatso Buttcut's a great
That's
artist.
the name of the show. It's Fatso Buttcut. You're on the table, but this is a solid 45 years of bad living.
Yeah.
You
And
should have had the Petro diet.
Yeah, I almost texted you about that.
Oh, it's
I'm
coming.
interested. I'm interested.
for some reason, I'm fishing a T-bone steak out of your liver. What is that?
How do you even get that in there?
All right, let's take a quick break.
Yeah.
Should we do the
so-
shot now?
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's
yeah.
do it. Let's do the shot. Butler, you about ready to do a
I
shot?
didn't even ask
Oh,
you.
yeah.
Yeah, news today, Seth?
Yeah. What do you think? I don't do my job?
Nobody else here does it.
How dare you.
Yeah, we got a standard going here.
Oh, then we have the fish. Hold on.
Shrimp cube.
We have the shrimp cube. My wife brought a shrimp cube from the house. We're gonna feed
We're
the
making
fish.
Butler
What
eat
the
it.
hell? Oh, I thought someone would take a
No.
shot of that. I was like, is this a bro dare? I'll do it.
Bro,
Ooh, let Seth eat the shrimp cube.
eat the shrimp. Okay, hold on.
For my wrestling pay, I'll do it.
Okay, here, Butler, you have the floor.
Never gonna get.
All right, raise one up for Mr. Double D. Today's his day. That's a TC guarantee. So thank his mom for not finishing with a gibber, and cheers to Dan for being the fastest swimmer. Bringing Dirty back 90210.
All right. Cannot believe you
horrible.
got through that. Butler told me, he's like, I wrote too many words. I'm not going to be able to say them. I'm like, what?
Woo!
The best ending to
That's
all
a
those
stinger.
is Tom going, no, right? After every single time he does it. No,
That's
right?
Sugarworks moonshine.
That moonshine will get you, buddy.
I didn't know that was a full shot of moonshine.
Yeah,
That is
yeah.
New
strong.
Smyrna shine.
That woke me the hell up.
I'm fucking alive now. Bring in the Guess Who. I'm ready.
Wow.
Holy shit.
That is good, but that is strong.
I'm already
It's
drunk.
strong.
Oh, that is
Yeah.
what you drink. That's what you drink, I think.
Well, I can see. I can see
Burnt my
again.
nose.
I can see
I
everything
like
I
that.
can see clearly now.
I like that. That hurts.
My whole
Holy
body's
like
buzzing right now.
Yeah, holy.
No, 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 no,
That's
no,
a
no.
donkey punch. Did you have some shark bite?
What proof is that?
Have some. Oh, you had some during Two Wife
100
Crew.
proof.
Oh, by the way, if you're a BDM member, Two Wife Crew, I released it secretly. The ladies didn't want any fanfare; they just wanted me to throw it out there, so I did. But if you jump in and join us live on Twitch from here on out on Fridays, what I'm going to do is I have like a 30-minute automated system I've set up. So I'm going to give you like 30 minutes of the last Friday free show or maybe a BDM show that maybe you didn't hear as kind of like a palate cleanser or like a teaser.
Yep.
So I'm giving you a little bit of an extra lead in, and we'll be able to start the show at 11:30. So Fridays at 11:30. We'll start today. We played That's Fucked Me Up.
I know. I feel it. I feel it. It's now my
can't
stomach.
even
Oh,
concentrate.
it traveled.
It's
Yeah.
radiating out
yeah.
the goodness.
Yeah. I feel really strong.
Yeah.
Right now. But anyway, yeah, so we'll be starting at 11:30, and today you heard Two Wife Crew. If you're a BDM member, that is for download right now.
By the way, you can go to Sugarworks Distillery in New Smyrna Beach and pick yourself up a a bottle of whiskey, hand sanitizer, and Tom and Dan shot glass. It's a little combo pack. It's like $34.99.
$35.99.
$35.99. And great Father's Day present for anybody who likes
Indeed.
whiskey. It's at Catalisa Creek whiskey.
It's
and,
tasty.
And yeah, it is great. We saw some BDMs already pick some up. So
Yeah.
it's still available there at Sugarworks.
And Sugarworks were giving them shout-outs on the old Twitter feeds. Twitter feeds, rather. I'm drunk now.
Oh my God,
know.
dude.
Fuck. But anyway, today, all the music, and it's cool because it is my birthday, and, birthdays are fun. You want to dance and have some fun. We talked to our good friend, DJ Dizzlefunk, on Monday about an Orlando-based hip-hop mixtape that he put out. It just launched
Today, and it's free.
It's completely free. So you got like 20-plus songs of all Central Florida hip-hop artists. We're going to play only hip-hop today and only local hip-hop. So let's start with the band that I believe Dizzle Funk is in. He's the resident DJ. Andrea's going to throw the shrimp. I'm drunk. She's going to throw the shrimp cube in the fish tank for everybody to eat. But this is Universal Funk Orchestra. The name of the song is Humalian. So you can dance to this a little bit. And we'll be back with more A Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan right after this. 1-844-TOMNDAN if you want to call. Or show at tomanddan.com to throw us an email. Welcome back to A Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan. I am Dan.
I'm Tom.
Samantha, our producer's here. Butler is wandering around somewhere. Seth Petrozelli on news. Caesar the dog and my wife have left the building.
So, what was up with the scooping up your significant other's phone? I know it's not
No, it's
dumping
snooping on.
Snooping.
Oh.
Yeah. So in the BDM group,
Man, you do need glasses.
there was a thread where they were talking about snooping. And I thought you'd have a pretty strong opinion on this, Seth.
Oh, let's
But
hear what's
there
going
was
on.
a thread on the BDM group where a guy basically said,
was asking if it was okay, if it was ever okay to snoop in your significant other's phone.
right, and
Yes.
and Samantha and I
I kind of figured that from
we,
the
we,
I'm joking.
we talked a little bit about it, but like
What's on Tracy's phone?
I know everybody's different. You know, you always have to preface by saying that now because, nobody ever wants to, again, my birthday wish is that everybody just listen to each other and not argue.
Be cool, bro.
Be cool, bro. But with that said, I've never been a fan of that. I've always been a fan of, like, I have my phone, you have your phone, and hopefully I trust you enough to not go in there, and hopefully you trust me enough to not go in my phone. But I don't think that is, I feel like that is the minority.
Do your
Yes.
significant others have your passcodes or any of that information?
My wife didn't when we were dating, but it wasn't because I wouldn't give it to her. It was just, it
never came up.
Again, see, and people would tell me, they'd be like, what do you mean? And I'd be like, no, I'm being honest with you. Like, we don't, I have no reason. Well, you know Andrea very well.
Ah,
She gives no one any reason.
very well.
Let's just say, egg dick well.
Oh, man,
like
stop
how-
saying
Well, you
it.
know what I mean.
How you say things.
But you know what I mean.
yeah.
Like, you know her better than most listeners do.
Right.
And she would never give anybody any reason to ever doubt anything she ever says. She's just that kind of person.
Yeah.
So it just never was a thing with me.
Also,
but I
the
do
type of person that's not suspicious or
Jealous,
or
none of that.
jealous, or they're very logical, like me. So
you guys
she
are
wouldn't
very,
be looking in your phone. You
very
know?
much alike. No,
Yeah.
she would not.
Now, if she ever found you, definitely, be
I
done
think,
with you.
I think that's the thing, is that when you have a person that you've hitched your wagon to that will not snoop, it's a gift, right? It's a great thing, but if you do abuse it, understand that you do not get there's no going back. You
Right.
fuck up, you're done. You know?
Yeah.
With her, I know it is. Like, if I fuck up, that is not I don't get we'll work through it. I don't get a counseling. I don't know. You're gone.
I was watching my sons literally yesterday, and Crystal was like showing a house or doing something, And like I was playing with them, and then they were like, "Daddy, when's mommy getting home?" Like, I don't know.
Hopefully not soon, because my girlfriend's over here. You guys like the girlfriend? Give me an old yeah.
And they said, "Well, check your phone and see where she's at, so you could tell us when she's gonna be here." Which told me that happens to be
that's
on.
fucked up. I think that's fucked up, but
she's got the tracking on my phone.
People are different.
But
I
yes,
just
and
feel
people sometimes use that
crazy.
not because they think they're cheating or anything. It could be like a safety thing. So I don't
that's what I'd say, too.
necessarily.
He's a grown ass man, though.
Yeah,
Yeah, but if he gets in a fucking car accident or something, at least she knows where he's at.
But come on, you guys. Like, if I just wandered off like I'm like a senile old man.
You'll walk into the woods.
Yeah. I mean, Samantha on the cruise, I've seen her concerned about my safety.
For an hour, I drunkenly talked to you to try to get you to go back to your room.
Yeah,
which,
because-
by the way, I should have went back to my room as well because I was fucking blacked
Yeah,
out.
but,
she's
but
like
what you
trying
didn't
to
understand is Tom was
help
trying to get you to go back to his
No.
room.
If you check and she's by around Lake Eola Heights where my house is, just know that I'm have her there just for realtor reasons, and that's it.
Okay.
You checking it. Why is she? She's always at the jungle, MMA and fitness. It's so weird.
But by the way,
Upstairs to be exact,
It's funny,
in the
she's-
closed off dojo.
It says she's in the dojo.
my wife could cheat on me for till now to the end of time till I'm dead, and I'd never figure it out ever. Like she could easily,
I believe that. I honestly believe
easily
that.
hide it. Whatever she tells me, I'm like,
going
believe.
to show a house.
Yeah, like anything. Like I wouldn't investigate it. I wouldn't look into it. I wouldn't look in her phone. I wouldn't. I'm so oblivious to everything. Like she came home with a hickey. I
Tactical
wouldn't
Hat.
notice it.
Tactical Hat's calling you out for saying my wife instead of Crystal.
No, okay.
It's just
Hey,
tactical. You're not helping.
I'm so oblivious to it. But, and it's just personality type, I think. Because she will look at my phone, check my messages. I don't know if not much now, but she did. I had nothing to hide, so it was one of those things where I'm like, I don't care.
It all depends. I don't like to deal in absolutes. It depends on who you're dating. Like, it depends.
Yeah.
If you're dating a girl
Everybody's
that's like an
different.
Insta type
Yeah.
model that's out there a lot, I'd be like, oh, shit. Like, I kind of want to like know.
Yeah,
if
but you went into that knowing that.
Well, exactly, but I also would want to know if I mean, I would not that I would break up with her if I found out she was cheating on me. I would just ride with it and be like, all right, she's fucking.
Okay.
I'm gonna do the same thing then. Or something.
No,
All right,
use
all
it
right.
as a.
Yeah, okay.
You know,
Leverage.
we have a
Leverage.
we have a BDM that's in prison, but he's on work release, and he's chiming in from the Twitch chat room. He says,
I love prison BDM.
Yeah, prison BDM is fantastic. He says, I've had a relationship end because she wanted to go through my phone. Handed her the phone and told her my passcode. Said she could go through it, but we're over if she did. That's a power move. When you go,
Damn.
The code is this. Here's my phone. But if you go through it right now, I'm packing my things. Like that's
That's what I'm gonna do next.
That's elevated,
That-
right?
that's
good.
That's spicy.
The thing is, I think it.
I go hide in the bathroom and delete shit. Hang a second, I can take a shit real fast. Hang on.
Got to bring your phone with you.
Okay, here you go. Next.
I can hear you deleting things because I hear.
No, I'm playing a game.
You hand it back to her. It's a factory reset.
I think it's not really about a trust thing. Okay, because if I look at it like I know Crystal pretty well at
I
this
think
point.
she trusts you.
And,
I don't think there's a.
And I think she does trust me, and she did always, to a certain extent. I
frog
must say.
pajamas.
That was rough.
Many
God
years
damn it.
ago.
But so I think it's more of a justification in their mind that they are on the right track or something like they have maybe a suspicion pops in their head.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Hey, Crystal does this all the time where she'll think of a worst case scenario and then she'll convince herself that
She is very mentally pessimistic with like worst case scenario
yes,
things. Yeah.
and then she'll
So
think
am I.
maybe I'm thinking about this because it's gonna happen. I need to prepare myself, or need to make sure, or maybe I'm having some sort of
maybe there's a reason that
of,
popped in my head. Yeah.
Like maybe through she don't believe in supernatural mumbo jumbo, but she's like maybe there's a reason I think this, and I'm trusting my intuition. I need to verify that it's not the case, and then she does that all the time. So things will she has in every car. The thing, she buys off the internet that you break the glass if you fall into a retention pond.
Yeah.
Because she had a bad dream that, she has this recurring nightmare that she's falling in the water with the kids, and then she has to, get them out of their car seats.
That's terrifying.
Dream
Torment.
interpretation. That just means she wants to get fucked.
All right.
By the way, I'm like
It's a
this.
hard stance there.
I'm like, all you
psychology
do
major.
all day is come up with horrible worst case scenarios in mind. She's like, yeah. I'm like, no way to live. Because me and Butler will, because I think we think of the same, nothing goes through our minds. And then we just go through life, not thinking anything good, bad, nothing. It's a better way to live, but a lot of downfalls, as you can tell.
What'd you point at me when you did that?
The listeners know.
Normally,
They know
though-
both of us.
Normally, though, when one of the persons has an inclination that the other person is doing something, it's usually a correct assumption, and you
Well,
go through the phone.
I think
Normally, you will find what you're looking for.
If
Normally,
there's
you'll find
evidence,
something.
I don't know though. Some people are just paranoid like that and
that's
insecure,
true, but,
and then nobody's even doing anything
Well,
wrong.
if that's the case, then yes. But if somebody like is normally not, but then they get the vibe, usually there's a
yeah.
usually there's a probably.
I think that's what most people do, though, right? Like, I think most people, once you're even having that discussion, that's not a good sign, right?
Yeah.
No. Well, for me, I wouldn't want it. Sorry to interrupt you. I wouldn't want it because sometimes I have stuff in there that's like, I'll ask her sister like gifts for her, or I'll ask a friend
that makes sense.
A friend about the things.
Don't look at my phone. You'll ruin your surprise.
Oh, kind of.
I like that.
Don't look at my phone. I'm too good of a boyfriend.
I like you trying to explain this one. Don't look at the text I sent your sister. Like,
Don't say that.
It's about a surprise.
If you saw the number of texts I have out spiraling to both men and women asking them what I should do for you that's awesome, man, oh man.
That's how I'll only spend my text time doing it.
Don't look at my phone. There's too many surprises.
Good things.
Here's what I don't understand. I don't understand the emotion of getting.
Those tits are just feels I might want to get you a boob job later.
Yeah,
Wow, that's
I'm
not
looking
good,
at
a good answer.
That was a bad answer. Yeah, that was a really bad answer.
scratch that from the list.
yeah,
Ah,
take
dude.
that one off.
But it's the person that gets incensed that their significant other doesn't trust them. It's like you take that as an insult, which I'm like, well, that's just their personality. They're not, it's like hard for them to trust. So it's like, whatever. If you're not hiding anything, it's kind of like back, everybody gets mad about video cameras and like the Patriot Act and the government looking at what they do. A lot of people are in the mindset of like, whatever, I'm not doing anything bad, so go ahead and look at it. Who gives a shit? And then other people are like, don't look at me. I don't want anybody to know what I'm doing, even if I'm not doing anything bad.
Right.
And that's just a way of thinking. And so it's not necessarily, it does not based on logic. It's irrational kind of like, why don't you want anybody looking at you? It's like, I don't want
Because
that.
it's my fucking business.
Yeah. And so there's
Can I
just,
search your car? No, you cannot.
it's,
Hey,
yeah,
see,
it's
that's all-
two types of people.
That's
so.
always
It's a yanny,
how.
yanny, yanny.
That's always how I've been because
Well, it's the giving over the power to the government. Fuck that.
Well, I can.
I agree. I don't like that either.
I can
but
remember back in the day, you and I talking about this and disagreeing even on because I was like, well, you would be like, well, why don't you just let her go on your phone? And I'd be like, because I remember us doing, and we've evolved. I mean, everybody changes, but I remember I was like, well, it's my phone. She doesn't even need to be in there. And you'd be like, well, but if she doesn't need to be in there, if nothing's going on, then what the fuck does it matter? And I'd be like, well, it only matters because if nothing's going on, then you shouldn't be in there. And then you just start,
Right.
Well,
then you
but
just start going.
It's funny because then age kind of diluted that both of it because now.
Well, now we just get lazy, and Andrea's like, what's on your phone? And I was like, just put the pass in, get it yourself.
Right.
and then,
I don't care anymore.
And I realized like I don't take the stance of why do you care if you got nothing to hide. I'm like, okay, you care because you care. That's part of your
That's
personality.
a slippery slope, though, when people say that. Would like, why do you care if you have nothing to hide? It's like, you're giving up too many rights here.
Well,
Next thing you know,
the government. I'm just talking like
he's
like
just
significant
wife
other.
Yeah.
He's just going peer to peer, right? Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
But the fucked up thing about that is I see both sides, you know, like, because even when early on, this is probably 10 years ago when we'd have this debate, I agreed with you. Like you saying, well, if there's no reason, there's nothing to hide, then who cares? And then there's a part of me that goes, he's absolutely correct. But then there's this weird, I don't know if it's only child. I don't know if there's a level of selfishness
like, this
there.
is mine.
Yeah,
Right.
there is.
No, I agree.
It
Yeah.
is. There is like maybe a selfishness there that I'm like, just purely the vibe is, well, this is mine. Like, I don't want anyone else to have that. I see only child tendencies in my daughter that I try to break. She already does that with her kid, with her friends. You know, like they were going to come over and do something. She's like, well, I don't want them using my crayons. And I'm like, yeah, we're gonna
Gotta share.
Yeah, we're gonna stamp that shit out. But she has nothing else
Of
to
course.
compare it to.
And
Break all of her crayons.
And then
Oh my God.
That's exactly what I did. And then I put them in the pillowcase with a hole in it.
of course she thinks that way because why wouldn't she? This is the way she grew up. Like,
Yeah.
it's not a flaw. Per
Yeah,
se.
it's like as you mature, you start to understand why people think things, and that gives me some sort of strange solace. Like there's a calming effect that I have knowing, like what you just said about, like, well, of course she feels that way. She's an only child, you idiot. You know, why would she have tendencies of like Tommy and Max have a whole different dynamic?
They literally are forced to share everything.
Correct.
So of course they're going to be more apt to like not look at something as mine as like it's ours, but they grew up that way. They were forced to do it.
It's also not as hard to break Maisie out of those things as I remember. My mom almost had a stigma where she felt like she needed me to almost, she was so concerned about me being an only child or acting like a spoiled, like a shitbag kid, that she almost overcorrected me in the fact that she was obsessed with it. Like, I can remember the number of times, there were two things that my mom and dad obsessed over, and I think they did a darn good job of obsessing. Not acting like a spoiled, rotten only child, and they did a good job because I've got other only children in my family, and they are not good humans. They listen, but at this point, I don't care. I'm 44. When you're old, you could just blurt things, right?
Old man blurts.
The
things.
other one was little man syndrome. My dad was huge on that about like you're not gonna act
because
like.
that really affects people.
Oh, it is. But my dad was like, you ain't gonna act like a little dickhead.
Right.
You know, like he was real big on no. It doesn't matter your size. You are not gonna overcompensate. You're not gonna. No, it doesn't matter. You are who you are, and who the fuck cares? You know, get over it.
Yeah.
Kind of a thing.
Let's do some news.
All right.
We'll end with some dump it out and some emails.
I have to.
You know, this is only
find-
second segment.
No.
Yeah,
I'm saying after
he means,
that.
he means for the end.
We didn't really
gotcha.
we didn't have a plan today.
Oh,
So
we got more
really
notes. Yeah.
We're just birthday in today. But I do, while this is playing, because I run the risk sometimes of not playing the full Seth Petrozelli theme song, I'm going to play this, but I have to queue up a voicemail. Somebody has a question about the theme. So here we go, courtesy of Pariah Mike.
MRIs trying to prove he's gonna die. The CD is kicking in with every new hit at the gym. He laid out Kimbo with an attack, but the Russian won't call him back. And we all forgot about that fight. Just more proof alone you're gonna die. From fighting in the UFC to reading news to you and me, you could say he wears a lot of hats, but we'll just focus on his eyes. So hippo people, get on your hooves and put them together for you know who. As if you narps don't have a clue, it's Seth Petrozelli with your douche bro news. It's Seth Petrozelli with your douche bro news. Narps.
Douche Bro News.
News today brought to you by Gringos Locos. Many locations. There's the original downtown location, the Milk District location.
Yes.
Sodo on Michigan.
Yeah, the Michigan one.
UCF.
UCF location. And they are
Two in the
all-
Amway when they get that back up and running, right? Is that when a...
I don't know.
Don't know. No one knows yet.
happen?
No one really knows.
Anyone
anything.
even doing anything in there during the time that nothing's going on?
Probably
No.
not.
The nothing.
Upgrades? I
Nothing's
mean,
going.
can you go there with a skateboard and just like, do some tricks on the old
If you
magic
try to
floor?
break in, that would be fun to break in.
Just
It would be
shut
fun.
down.
Just have the whole place to yourself.
Talk about a place that
That would be fun.
you want to hide in as a kid.
Yeah.
You find all the switches. You do that thing where you...
Yeah, I've been up on the rafters up atop and stuff. Like you could take an elevator all the way up to
the catwalk.
The catwalks up there, and there's a whole spider web of of things
They
up
do
there.
some
like
fun things up there.
Do a
Phantom
little
of
turn
the
on the
Opera.
catwalk.
I think the only thing I'd want to do, I'd want to go to the dead center of the catwalk and then just pee right off the top.
yeah.
A big yellow vitamin C pee-pee. A big one. A big Matt Mormon.
There's something about pissing.
Or not Matt Mormon.
spitting.
Yeah, it was Matt Mormon, right? Or no, who was the guy that we had in here? The wrestler.
Matt Morgan?
Matt Morgan,
Morgan, yeah,
not
yeah.
Matt Mormon.
Oh,
Sorry,
long-
Matt
long
Morgan.
with hair?
Matt Mormon's like,
Yeah,
I'm
Matt
Seth
Mormon.
Roger.
He's like, I don't pee everywhere. No, Matt Morgan, remember he?
Oh, yeah.
Big old wrestler.
Coca-Cola
Oh
pee.
man, a bright yellow-brown Coca-Cola pee.
Side note, Pariah Mike and his wife Lisa will be on Semantics this week.
All right.
If you're interested.
News.
News?
Yeah, news.
I thought you said you had a thing about the theme. I thought you said
Oh, this
Oh,
is
yeah.
Is he
Oh,
telling you
voicemail.
guys? See,
before with that
guys,
theme.
yeah.
I'll remind you about
That
the
moonshine got him.
Who are
really
the
did fuck me up.
people that continuously post like fake shit and misinformation and stuff on Facebook, get called out, but then just keep doing it?
No, I had a guy.
Why?
I had a guy do that. He put up the Bernie Sanders picture of them arresting him, and they're like, Bernie Sanders was arrested in 1960. I think he said 63 for throwing eggs at black people. Yeah, it never happened. And I said that. I go, that's not a reality. He was arrested for actually being at a protest. It was in 64, and he didn't throw eggs at black people. And the guy was like, okay. And then he just left it up. And then it was like, how long will he leave it
There's
up?
one lady that continuously, literally, I don't know, 10 times a day, shares something that's like 20 years old, 10 years old, and I correct her about it,
They
and
don't
she
care.
doesn't respond. She just leaves it up. Like,
Yeah.
she doesn't even
What is
respond.
Is that
I
what
don't
you're
know.
talking about?
What?
Like, and then they
Yeah.
leave it.
Yeah, but not only that, but then like I can understand.
Or like it's like a completely false
Yeah,
information, and I'm like,
because they feel like it should have happened or it could have happened or they wanted it
yeah,
to
but
happen.
once
so
you're
like, I don't know.
corrected,
Yeah, that's the thing. Like that's where I'm like dumbfounded.
I don't know.
Because I understand people just see something and they repost
they
it.
share it
because
without looking into
it's
it. Yeah.
nothing to them, and I see it a lot because I had this thing where I'm like, I'm not gonna unfollow any of these people.
Yeah.
And some of it's hard, but believe
It's
me,
real
it's
hard.
real hard. That like. Where I do want to unfollow because I'm like, God damn, like this
Right.
person's a piece of shit. But I leave it because I'm like, well, this is the representation of what is reality, and
But
I
it-
want to look at it to show, they remind me that they're dumb, ignorant
Well, it's
people.
just always-
But they just keep posting the same shit, and people say this is wrong and inaccurate. They'll show the proof, or
But they
whatever.
leave it up.
and then
Because
they'll
they
do
don't
it.
care if it's real.
But-
Like they
Isn't that
don't
weird?
care if it's
Isn't
their
that weird?
agenda, and that's it.
Yeah, but that's weird.
Yeah, like if you even,
I
like,
agree.
And I'll like sometimes I'll even look at the comments and the person will acknowledge like, oh yeah, okay, this isn't true. Like they'll
Yeah.
acknowledge it's not real, leave it up, and then do it again later. And I
Yeah.
was like, what is it? Are
The
you
guy
just
did it
really
on
dumb?
the-
I
Yeah.
don't know.
On the thread,
I know
I'm-
it's that, but
on the thread I'm talking about, that's what the guy did. Like I
What is
found the article like, saying like this is false,
fake, yeah.
and I was like, you know, and I'm not, and I wasn't, and I even said, I'm like, look, I'm not trying to make this political, but if you're gonna share stuff like this, at least make sure it's accurate because you know, like that's
Yeah.
kind
And
of what we should do, I think. And the guy gave me a thumbs up and said, yep, thank you, and then
And I'm not.
just left.
Maybe it
it.
was a sarcastic. Yeah, right. Thanks. That's
But-
a bullshit.
Well, no,
argument.
I linked him back to like an accredited like an AP or Reuters article saying that this particular fault to meme is running rampant on the interwebs, and I just linked him back saying, yeah, this is wrong.
and
Well, it
regardless
doesn't matter.
of
Fuck you,
of
doesn't-
politics, it happens on both
No, I
sides.
know,
or
yeah, it
whatever.
does.
So, like,
It's not about politics. It's about misinformation.
Yeah. So, like, but I like how do you, then when you go to post the second after you've been corrected, seemingly I'll keep track of like this person just constantly posts shit, and then I'll see him post it again. I'm like, how are you still doing it? Like it didn't dawn on you like, hey, I
Maybe
know
I should look into this before I share it this time.
the past 5 times I've been shamed
Nah.
by people, and and then I acknowledge that it was wrong, still left it up, but then I'm gonna do it again. Like what? How?
It's the acknowledge. If you did
What
me,
is it?
okay, we'd be okay. In my eyes, you would be okay if you didn't acknowledge me. Okay, follow me here. Or if you messaged me and said, "Fuck you, you liberal piece of shit."
Yeah,
Then
I don't
I'd be-
believe
yeah,
you.
Then I'd be like, all right.
okay, yeah.
But you don't. You look at me and you go, "Hey, Dan, thanks for correcting my misinformation. I still believe it."
Right.
And that doesn't fly.
Yeah, that doesn't.
You telling me to eat shit, that flies because that's real.
And maybe-
What
yeah.
you're doing, though, is not real.
Doesn't make sense.
Maybe
It
we've gotten
doesn't.
to a point where they just But again, I see them in their posts like comment.
Maybe they
after-
use the tool differently than you do. Like, I think that's what it is. I think the disconnect is how you use the tool.
Is it like Russian trolls, or are they just like, it doesn't matter if it's real, this is the way I want it to be, so I just want to keep
they don't
posting
care as
to-
much.
I think so.
Well, they just get off on creating confusion and fun. Like, I don't
well,
know, it's
look,
fun to them to do
there
stuff like
No,
that.
like the old pops and memas,
No,
they don't
no,
even
no.
think that way. They literally
Yeah,
believe
yeah.
this shit,
Yeah,
and they
yeah.
share it. And then even when they're corrected, either they don't say anything at all, or they're just like, okay, but then don't delete it,
Yeah.
and then
And then do it
continue
again.
and continue to
You
share.
know,
It's just
our good friend Eric
Sorry.
Pabone,
Pabone.
who we love. I'll buy some of his art, by the way,
Yeah.
because he's amazing and a good man. But he says people are hardwired not to change beliefs even when confronted with evidence.
that's true.
It is. It's
know.
kind of sad too, because you know one of the best things about being able, like
religion's obvious
there
for
was a
that.
certain level of power that I remember I felt like I acquired as a young man, like I want to say middle school age, where I realized, you know what's cool about being wrong? You learn something. I'm being serious. Like I remember. And then I remember getting this comfortability with telling people, yeah, I got that wrong. You know, when you're comfortable being wrong, you learn a shit ton. I mean, you just start gathering knowledge like crazy.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it seems like this doesn't seem like that to me.
Juan mentioned it earlier in the feed up there. He said, "You think this is bad now? Wait till you see all these deep fakes that are going to be coming
yeah.
out later
I mean,
on."
they-
Where it's
people
like
already
you're
believe that
looking
shit.
at at like something Obama or whoever
100%
inserting by
real.
P-Pals
fake
and
information.
memas are sharing Photoshop shit all day, every day, and they believe it 100%.
Wait till
They
there's
don't
a
even know what
video
Photoshop
format.
is.
Yeah.
It happens with, I've seen people's grandparents, they share bullshit email forwards and
Yep.
stuff, like, and then they believe it. Although, seemingly getting better with, but God, I don't know what it is.
It's a nightmare.
The
Whatever,
magnet,
that'll be us in like 30 years. So
Yeah, yeah. Well,
doing
I'm
something
30.
similar.
I'll be there in 15.
Well, whatever, yeah.
The magnet's pulling hard because we talked about Amway, we talked about Gringos, we talked about in the Twitch chat room, and even here we talked about having a friend that works at the Amway, and it just so happens that the friend that works at the Amway is the guy that had the question about Seth's theme song by Pariah Mike. So there is here it is.
What up, T&D gang? I love the 99 MRI's theme song for Seth when he does the news, and I love all the little references in there, like NARPs and Hippo and Douche Bro and all that stuff. But there's one lyric I can't understand. It goes, he laid out Kimbo with an attack, and then what does they say after? Because it sounds like he laid out Kimbo with an attack, but production won't call him back.
Play it again.
I guess I
I'll
don't
tell you
really
what it
get
says.
that reference.
Oh, do
I
you
don't
know?
really know what the word is, but if you guys can clear that up for me, that would be great.
I honestly
Anyway,
don't know either.
Keep eating that ass, Seth. Love you. Bye.
There you go.
It's I asked this probably 4 months ago.
Oh, okay.
But the Russian won't call him back. The
Ah.
Russian, which is bullshit because I broke up with her. But I just let it
you
fly.
did.
Oh, you're mad about that.
Sure you did.
I mean, I did. She's the one that was
you
like
think-
crying and
Pariah
loved me,
Mike's
said she
so
loved
good.
me, and
Do you think that?
She loved you.
she said that.
Fake news.
But you were like
I'll
that.
show you the
that's
damn
when you
text.
weren't you going
No, I'm
to,
saying that she loved you. That's fake.
Oh yeah. No, I think she really
You
did.
keep a text of her saying "I love you" on your phone, man. If I were your girlfriend, I'd go through your phone.
I keep the voicemail of her crying, and it sustains me. I'm like, yes, the power.
I gotta go.
Sam
I
and
gotta
I
go
were,
right now.
Sam and I were triggered on that one. I was rattled on that one.
Yeah.
Didn't you eat
I'm
her ass too
joking.
much, the Russian?
No.
Or
I
did
You
you
ate her ass
I mean, I
raw.
ate her
She
ass.
You
said
ate
go.
her ass, but then we talked about it, and didn't she hear us talking about you eating ass, and then it caused a problem,
Oh
right?
no.
Oh yeah. She's
Yeah.
like she didn't want me to be talking.
I do
about
not
stuff
like it when
She was
little
really
man
upset about
and
that.
little man and Rachel Maddow talk about you eat ass. I do not like.
Yeah, she was not happy with that at all. That's why Tracy's so great because she doesn't give a shit what I talk about.
The-
She was this close to letting me post a picture for her in the dog crate the other day, and I didn't.
Rewind.
Yeah, you might want to play that part again because I do think that it might be that Joe Rogan won't call you back.
Oh, maybe it's you guys told me it was the Russian.
Hold on, let's.
Oh, wait,
I
I
asked,
don't even know.
I asked Daniel, and he's like, it's the
Daniel
Russian. The
doesn't
Russian.
No. Here's what
You
you
told
did.
me.
He'll just tell you
Here's
anything.
what you did. You said, "Is it the Russian won't call you back?" And I don't listen to anything, and I don't care about anything. And I'm like, yeah.
No bullshit. That's not what.
Tom
happened.
knows. That's what I do.
Yeah.
Well, that makes you feel better
Here,
for still Rogan.
I'll play
See,
it.
everyone else is like, yeah, I think it is the Joe Rogan. Pretty sure it's Joe Rogan. I think it is too.
Can I fast forward it a little bit? Let's see. I don't think I can.
Ah, damn it.
Oh, really?
No, because it's on this stupid trigger button thing. Hold on, let me see if I can find it.
It does say the Russian. It's Russian. Now we're getting everyone saying it's Russian.
See? I was told it was a
Well,
Russian.
either way, neither one of them are calling you back, so.
Okay, I got it.
Both are accurate.
Well, Joe Rogan gave me the thumbs up this weekend. He gave me a wave, actually.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah, it's Russian.
It's the
Yeah.
Russian. Yeah,
Ah.
it's the
Yeah.
Russian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There it is. So
Solved.
he gave you the old wave. It used to be the hi, hello.
And it wasn't even
Well,
going. It wasn't even. Well, we
Yeah,
were
you
locked
couldn't
down.
get-
yeah.
We couldn't go see anybody. He was behind a glass
Oh yeah,
wall.
yeah. That's called the $100 million. I have no idea who you are.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
100 million will make you forget a lot
Yeah,
of people that bothered
it's
you.
funny who you'll forget when you have your Spotify glasses on.
Oh man, if someone gave me 100 million,
Oh my God.
I wouldn't talk
I'd
to
forget my wife. I'd be like, my daughter. I'd be like, I don't know, wait, somebody.
You better
please.
give me $100 raise.
I'd be
for
like,
news.
I'd
you
wake
think I'm
up
doing this shit?
with 100 million. I'd wake up and I'd be like, it'd be like me in the Matrix. It'd be like a white room and it'd just be me and money everywhere. And I'm like, it's just me and my egg penis. I got no other.
You'd have to do it.
Stop.
You're getting paid to do the
Stop.
podcast.
I can't hear that anymore today.
It's the grossest thing.
God damn it.
They get the
But
pulse of
Of all the things
thing
that
is,
happen,
Samantha, because of your reaction,
It
it's
makes
just
me
gonna
want to
make
vomit.
It's gonna make me and
Really?
Daniel
Of all
do
the
more.
things we talk about,
Yeah, egg
really?
penis makes me want to
Remember the
vomit.
hey, do you remember the song
That's
Weird
true.
Science?
Oh, of course.
With
I love the
that-
movie.
Egg penis be
No.
It's for those of you who don't know the joke, it's
Round and smooth without any hair.
Maybe we shouldn't even explain it.
Sorry.
I'm not gonna explain it. Let's do the news.
egg penis.
Dun-dun-dun.
I was gonna explain it, but better that no one knows.
Yeah.
Or the people that do, they
Which came first,
Just
the
keep
penis or
scrolling.
the egg? First I ate the penis, and then I ate his leg.
first story. What do we got?
All right, guys. First story is
Beastie Boys. Isn't
a
it?
story. It's a story about a YouTuber who placed her adopted autistic son from China with a new family.
Yeah, this
Yep,
is fucked
that's-
up.
After
that's-
you guys talk about this already?
No.
okay, good.
I just
Yeah.
read it.
Yeah, after making content with him for years, Micah Stauffer built her YouTube following partly by sharing every step of her journey to adopt a toddler from China. This was last week, revealed why he'd gone missing from her videos. She has hundreds of thousands of followers who she has shared her family's experience with of adopting a toddler from China. Announced on Tuesday that she and her husband had permanently placed their child with another family after unspecified behavioral issues. So she pretty much monetized
Yes.
this poor autistic kid from China, talking about before she got him, as she got him,
and
showing him growing up.
specifically wanted a quote unquote special needs child.
Yeah,
Went into it.
Went into it knowing.
Not like she didn't know that the
Well,
kid had.
I have some friends that have gone into the adoption process saying basically the same thing because they know how to handle special needs children. They are in a position where they can provide a great life for one, and they have opened their home, and that's you know what I mean. Like
Right.
there are families that do that because they're like, we're equipped, we know how to do this, and we can elevate this kid's life. Okay, so that was the bill of goods we were sold, right?
Well, the bill of goods was that they had, I believe, 2 children of their own.
Yeah, she has 2 children of their own. Yes.
They
Special needs?
No,
No.
not
Just-
at all.
okay.
So they're not familiar with taking care of a special needs child at all.
That's
but for whatever
difficult.
reason, wanted specifically to quote help a special needs child, so they adopted one
Gotcha.
and
They're
gained
like,
money.
2 special needs. I just want a little
Right.
bit.
Yeah, just a
Basically.
sprinkle.
Yeah. I'm looking
Can
for.
I get a? It's like when I go to plant a smoothie, not the chocolate Elvis light.
too much chocolate?
She spent. I'll read the
Don't
rest.
say
She
that.
spent years sharing intimate details of her son Huxley's life on a monetized channel.
Oh, I love that name.
800,000. Yeah, the
Huxley.
name was
That's
cool.
a great name.
Well, yeah, that was another thing is people were ragging on her for giving a Chinese person named Huxley.
American
they,
hipster name.
American hipster. Yeah, they got her for
Get
that
the
too.
fuck
Well,
outta here.
if she would have
Jesus
named it a traditional Chinese name, they would have been
would've
mad about
got-
that too.
Exactly.
Yeah, then you're
that was my point,
racist,
kind
huh?
of, because you can't freaking please anyone.
Jeez Louise.
Even before her family adopted Huxley in 2017, Micah had made his story a key theme on her channel, which had exploded in popularity and landed her several high-profile sponsorships. She has also positioned herself as an advocate for international adoption in several national news outlets. These facts, coupled with a long simmering debate about rights of children on social media, has led to an outcry against the couple and their decision to publicize and monetize their lives.
No, she is fucked.
She
because
basically it's like when you get a dog and you like give it to the pound. Give it back to the
exactly.
pound. It's
Okay.
ridiculous.
It's like that times 10.
I gotta
for
say
Right.
something. I've never understood that, and I've seen people do that, and I've never been able to saddle that one in my brain.
I call 'em out.
Even in times of like shit happening, but I know people. We worked with a guy that did that.
Never give it back to the pound. You just drive to the woods and let it go. And then you're like, I don't know, right away.
We like no, it just it
I'm
just
just
doesn't.
saying.
It's,
Right?
It doesn't.
And then you also just walk into the woods.
it doesn't.
Old man walks
It
into the
doesn't
woods.
compute with me. The whole like I can't take care of this dog anymore thing. I saw it a little bit even on social media during the beginning of the we're still in it. People are suffering, but in the beginning of COVID. I saw people saying, like, look, I've been laid off. I can't make my
Right.
rent. I can't take care of this dog. It's a bigger dog. I saw some of that on my own feed.
That's terrible.
It doesn't compute in my brain, though, because I've never had to deal with that. I would imagine that some of those people are genuinely to a point where they don't think that they can provide, correctly for their animal, right?
Well, here's the thing that's infuriating, right? This couple, I don't want to say she, because
And I don't
it was
mean
a
to
couple.
compare
Yeah, it was a
dog
guy
with
in
child, but you
they
know what I mean.
both went out of their way
I feel like she was the one spearheading
to
this
get
thing.
a special needs child, which clearly seems like they didn't do a lot of research. And then they gave the child, they quote, rehome the child. Well, what if your birth child was special needs? Who are you going to give the kid to? You going to just put it up for adoption? You know what I mean? You went out of your way for this. Now, what if your birth child was special needs? Would you also do the same thing? And
Well,
just,
then you're forced to keep it.
No, you're not. You can give them up for adoption.
I like what you're saying, man.
If you got it from the pound, then people are like, I don't know. I'm just making a joke. It's
infuriating because they made a
horrible.
shit ton of money off of this.
These people are pieces of shit.
Yeah, they made a shit ton of money off of this to document it, and then just rehomed the child. Which, by the way, good for the kid because it's probably in a way better fucking household.
Can you
than where he
rename the
was.
child at that point?
Yes, Zing Zang. They named him.
Oh, Jesus.
This guy.
I gotta go.
Turn off his fucking mic.
Why am I still here? I should have left the first
You
one.
can't say that.
No, which I'm not even racist.
I don't think so.
You know why that's
It
not
doesn't make any
racist?
sense.
Because you're a fucking idiot. That's not even like a name.
It's not even stereotypical
literally
Chinese
the
name.
first thing that popped into my head. There was no stoppage of
you
whatever
wanted
came out of my
to
mouth.
do it, and you're like, yeah, they named it Pee Pee Poo Poo. And you're like, yeah, you're talking like a fucking idiot baby.
So I was gonna. She put a message on her like YouTube channel.
I'll get it. I'll get it.
Like
Yeah,
where she had explained it.
Oh, I didn't see that in the article.
Oh, my wife was pissed off at this lady.
Oh, she was
and-
mad?
Well, who wouldn't be?
Yeah, everybody was, and she's taking.
I hope she loses all her. She has like 800. She did have 800,000 followers and like millions and millions of views on that stuff.
I think she lost her
She at least
sponsors.
all her sponsors,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Good.
yeah. Like this is, and I wonder, she had to have known
Okay, hold on.
that this was
Trying
going
to
to
find it
create
here.
an insane amount of backlash.
You would think.
I didn't know of this person, and then when Crystal first told me the story, I assumed that she just adopted the baby, and then behind the scenes she decided like it was too much for her. I didn't realize she made it a part of her YouTube channel. That's even like worse.
Sinister.
Oh, the fact that he monetized it and put it part
Right.
of YouTube.
How old
that's
was
the
how old
issue.
was the child when they quote unquote
Right.
rehomed?
How long was
I
the
don't know.
child
I'll see
in
if it's- I'll see
her
if it says
custody?
on there.
How long was the child in her care? Because like I'm looking at
Guys, I only get paid so much to do so much research, so
I'm
hang
looking
on.
at her
Hang on.
page, and
think
the second video she has is just basically a video of her detailing her diet, where she's wearing a skimpy bikini. So if you just want me to pass judgment on this page, automatically you can tell that this page is more about her and less about being a mom or the child or anything, right?
Well,
I mean, I think you can kind of see
Unless
that.
you removed those.
Okay,
videos.
so
I mean,
they got Huxley
Right.
at 2.5 years old. That's when they got him.
Oh, that's so tragic. Dude.
2.5. Trying to see if it says when they how long
and they got
actually
rid of him
had
at
for.
2 1/4.
Well, they
Yeah.
adopted him in
2 3/4.
2017, and it's 2020.
Okay,
So-
so he's been gone
Wow.
for months.
Oh, wow.
Okay, I
So
understand it now. Yeah.
well, I mean
I
the
guess I should
that's a
have
the
couple
child
years.
was living with
Math.
him for years. That's enough
Yeah.
to form a bond and then
100%.
be confusing.
Oh, especially
the-
during that time, the 2, 3, 4.
And the child was
I'm no
severely-
Sigmund Freud, but I know it's going to
he
create
has
some.
level 3 autism and
Yeah.
sensory
Aw.
processing disorder.
So
Poor dude.
was it it had to have been a case where this was just too much for them to handle, and then they
Well, then
just
do
gave
your
up.
fucking research before you go out of your
course.
way to, you know what I'm saying?
Also,
like that's what bothers me.
Guess what? Sometimes life is too much for fucking you to handle, and
Yeah.
you just got to do it, like
Right.
because that's what life's about.
Yeah.
It's like
Tell that to all single moms that are working like multiple jobs and then caring for a kid and putting a kid through school and everything alone.
I mean, you could give up on your priorities and your responsibilities, but that makes you a piece of shit.
Oh,
And then that's it. And then there it is.
Here's her explaining it.
You know,
I got that video.
YouTuber Micah Stauffer is facing backlash after revealing her adopted autistic son is now living with a new family.
The last couple months have been like the hardest thing I could have ever imagined.
The influencer is joined by husband James Stauffer as she tells her over 700,000 YouTube subscribers that their adopted son Huxley is no longer living with them. The couple struggles to hold back tears as they candidly detail their decision to rehome the toddler.
You know, with international adoption, sometimes there's unknowns and things that are not transparent on files and things like that. And once Huxley came home, there was a lot more special needs that we weren't aware of.
He was two special needs.
Yeah, fuck you, you piece
man.
of shit.
I just wanted a little bit of special
I just
needs.
wanted enough.
For the novelty for my YouTube channel.
I just wanted
fucking garbage human.
Just enough for people to care more about my family, but not enough to make it difficult.
Yeah. I just want, I want them to be good at math and a little unemotional. You know what I'm saying?
It's infuriating.
They made us just enough money.
Could you
and
guys
now
just
I'm
give
done.
me the standard? I mean, I didn't know.
Right.
Fuck you,
Yeah, I want
trash person.
low spectrum. What's
Just a sprinkle. Like, what the? Get the fuck out of here.
Here's
that is,
Fuck your stupid name.
here's what I find fascinating.
bad.
So
that's really bad.
Double fuck.
So people don't realize, like, once you're at this level of YouTube, like, you can make multi-millions. I don't know what they made, but or what they make, but I assume it's very high salary.
Do the
for
math.
This, right?
700 and when I was looking at 702,000 subscribers.
So let's just say at the minimal, they're making between 500 and 700 grand a year. Probably that's low. It's probably more. It's probably into the millions. But
that's not even including sponsors.
Yeah. So you're making 500K. So you've got money, right? And you had to have had the conversation like, hey, this is not going to look good if we don't have this baby anymore.
No, because they're spinning it as it's better for him because we couldn't handle it and we want him to have a better life.
He's in a better spot.
Which is true.
I want to be
However,
fair with that because Rich.
they went into this being dickheads.
Why not hire a professional? You have the money. That's what I'm saying.
That's what I was thinking. Why don't you hire an nanny?
Bring in a certified pro, a specialist that deals with severe autism, and then have them come to your house every day and help you. Yes, it's going to be expensive, but you got the money.
Right.
Like,
and then
you
it'll
have
be
the
cheaper than
resources.
losing all your sponsors and getting zero.
Well, I don't know, but I don't know about you guys, but I'm a dad now. You're a dad now, and I would go through any length and exhaust all of my income to keep my daughter with me. And if you were looking at that particular kid as a family member, you would probably do the same, right?
That's just it. They're not. That's not their blood.
Kind of
They're
going
not
along with what you're saying. Now, Rich in our Twitch chat room, just to make sure we're being fair, he kind of echoed what Sam's saying. He said, I think it's kind of responsible for them to step up and admit that they couldn't handle it. And then he goes on to say, it's a shitty situation for sure, but I would be concerned with the alternative.
Well,
Agreed.
you could do what Tom said, which
Yeah.
would probably be the right way to do it.
Now,
at least try
we see
it.
through your bullshit,
Or
and
try
you
it.
just adopted this kid to get fucking sponsors and likes on fucking social media.
We could be
You
happy
didn't
that he's in a
actually-
better spot and still hate them.
You're not giving us any reason to think that you didn't do that because you didn't at least try Tom's thing and
Right.
exhaust it, right? At least try it for a year
Listen,
or 6 months.
I agree if you don't have that much money and then you have a...
If you literally do not have the means.
Yeah,
yes.
you don't have the means. You adopted a severely autistic kid. You realize, like, I can't provide the amount of care that this kid needs, like the special treatment and the special schooling and the special programs. You know, like, I can't provide it, so maybe this family can. That's a different story.
Right.
When you have the means, you're like, well, you could provide.
You just don't want to.
What family did you give it to? A family that's richer than you, like, or like, or that just has experience? Like, you could bring in a professional. Now they're gonna be $1,000 a day or whatever it is, but you're not going to be able to buy fresh
and
white
Medium
linens
Christine is
anymore.
making a point saying they didn't step up. They simply removed pictures of him and didn't admit to the issues. Only when they were called out did they make a statement.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think that's the thing that I think is bad because the transparency level changed. If you'd kept the level of transparency with the child the same, and you had documented it via YouTube and said we're having difficulty, I'm not doing good enough as a dad.
Dude, if they would have done that, they probably would have had someone for free offer help. to help them with
You
this
have
child. You
such-
understand what I'm saying?
But they changed. So the reason that we feel this way is your level of transparency changed when you just pulled pictures,
Right.
and then you didn't say anything, and then we find out months later
Right.
that the kid's gone.
It's
so
like
yeah,
if you
you
turn
handled it at the very best. You handled it horribly at the best.
You turned on Friday Free Show and then no more fish tank. We never said anything.
It went bad.
Where's the fish cam? Where's the fish? And we
I
just
feel like a lot of people thought about that with Lee when they didn't see him the next day.
I mean,
it's,
well, he was a little more special needs than I wanted in here. I wanted somebody funny.
I wanted more laughs, but that really got sad.
Hey, I'll give you a real update. Lee sent Tom and I an apology letter, and I replied back to him.
Oh.
And so he sent us an apology letter for the way that everything went down, and he's in England now, and I wish him the best. Apology accepted. I'm not going to go into details because that's his business, but I did appreciate the fact that after some time and some air, that he reached out, hat in hand, and he basically said that it was a bad decision on his part, and it didn't work out right.
Oh. He sent one to me saying to steal stuff for me.
I believe that.
It's okay, I know you're still in there.
We lost all of our pieces of our tent. We had to buy a goddamn new tent. Because I lost track of who the fuck I gave this shit to.
I love you, Seth. You're such a dick.
Anyway, that's... these people are trash. All right. Next
Peepee Sprinkles checks in to say, I care more about the fish than Lee.
Come on.
All right. Well, hey, we're airing it out today. It's a
all right. So
happy show.
Is it?
Happy birthday.
We just ranted about this couple for forever.
Well,
Okay,
no, I
let's
like
get back
stuff.
to
I
fun
love stuff like that. It's super interesting to
listen.
see, call people out for being shitbags.
I can't. Okay, going
makes
back.
me-
Oh, you
It definitely
fired him
makes
up
me
again,
feel
Sam.
No,
Seth, go ahead and tell us who died this week.
Regardless about how horrible it is, and we all I think everybody's on the same page. And yeah, I mean, yes, maybe you could say well, maybe they did the right thing if they couldn't provide the best care.
They just,
but
but
our argument is that you could pay for the best
Yes.
care anyway. So, but I'm just dumbfounded that they wouldn't have thought that this would create a
they're
backlash.
fucking dodos.
Oh, but they know social media. They know
Do
the
they?
internet. They are YouTubers. They know they interact with people all the time. They know trolls. They know the
Well, what about the other couple
How?
that we talked
maybe
about?
it was that bad where they didn't care. They're like, we know it's going to be bad. We're still lose everything. It's that bad.
This kid must have been
This kid was pissing in our mouths.
Yeah, I mean, they just sound lazy to me.
Yeah.
Or just they did this for the reasons that Samantha's talking about. But what's funny about this too is that this isn't the first time that we've had YouTubers that go on there that do something shady, and then other YouTubers call them out and fuck them over. Remember that what was it, Daddy of Five or Mommy? Yeah, remember those guys? And then they basically
shaming their children,
basically abused physically. Well, I won't say physically, but at least mentally by screaming and just going crazy on their kids.
They would shit in the corner and be like, "What the fuck did you do?"
Yeah, they were fucking with them just to fuck with their kids' brains.
There is a lot of idiots that don't there's oh, this went viral. Just do more of this. And then go too far.
We can be rich if we just fuck up our kids on camera.
Is the last video that they put out, did it get as many hits? Because that's interesting. Will this not even affect them because the world is a shithole? It doesn't even matter. You get a bunch of backlash and then just keep going. Nothing matters.
It's them drowning the kid.
Come on.
Here's the thing about it.
My God.
The lady, what is her name? Micah Stuffer. Her videos, he'd already been gone, so they don't really address it. So
because they said that he just mysteriously started disappearing from their YouTube videos. That's why people are
I'm
questioning.
saying after this backlash.
Yeah, what is her next video?
Oh, they're fine. Yeah, 250,000.
Okay,
everyone is saying
Jesus Christ.
Seth fucked it up for everyone. The show was funny until this.
What?
Your goddamn news,
the show
Seth.
was
That's
good
what.
until Seth's segment because it's too heavy. Everybody wants to just laugh.
If you look at her, she put out a video 3 weeks ago. It's got 500,000 views, so she's okay. I mean, everything seems.
Everybody's like, yeah, that baby was annoying.
Seems pretty fine.
Because you do have the aspect of people will hate watch you.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah.
you know, that used to happen back in the day where like.
Oh, it still happens.
Yeah, well, I'm saying like back in the political
Rush
radio.
Limbaugh used
half
to
of
be
his
the
listeners,
guy. Yeah.
Half his listeners were Democrats that we used to hate listen to him, and I never understood
You
that.
listen for confirmation bias, and then sometimes you'd listen just to become infuriated while you worked your day job.
So
which,
now-
like I'm with you. I don't get it.
This family's villainized, and are people just watching because they're like, look, and they like to talk shit or whatever? Because like you're right, it's not like she had all these views, and then all of a sudden it went down to like 5,000. Like still got the same views. So like, what is it? Does it not matter what you do? Now I'm sure a lot of her sponsors don't want anything to do with her, but
with enough time, I don't think it'll matter.
Maybe. Well,
it'll just time people forget everything. After
Yeah,
that.
I
We
really
have
believe. You
shortest
know,
attention spans. I swear.
I mean, and does she deserve to be canceled and never work again because of what she did? Look, I'm not in it. I can only give you my opinion of what I see on the surface, and I don't like what I see. But then sometimes, you know, that's not enough for people. Like, we just gave our opinion. You know, you can't just say, like, oh, she's a bad mom. Maybe they got in over their head and they fucked this all up. But there are other people that look at that and be like, well, now we obviously have to kill her.
Well,
you know what I mean? Like, it's funny how we all go to these weird extremes.
Yeah.
It's
here's the interesting thing about like trying to cancel her. You can't, because she just puts a YouTube channel like it's her own thing. So yeah, if she worked
Well,
for
she'll lose sponsors.
Yes, but if she worked for a network or whatever, she'd definitely be fired the next day. But she doesn't, and that's an interesting thing where she's a YouTuber. So yeah, she put out her next
she'll
video.
lose sponsors and she'll be trolled to no end.
I mean, but maybe
not.
doesn't affect her bottom line that much. You know, like maybe this whole controversy, because this is the new world. Like it used to be, you know, you do something that the world doesn't like, and whoever you work for will fire you.
Yeah.
Now it's like, well, they can't get fired. No one's stopping her from putting out stuff. So like people are still watching it.
Speaking of, did you guys see Akeem Wood's video that he posted on social media?
No.
You didn't see that? Where he's like, are you racist? Are you mad? And you want to post things on social media? And he's like, guess what? I'm unemployed. They can't fire me. Just Venmo me $10.
He'll say anything you want. If you want to be homophobic or racist, he'll say it for you.
It's great.
And he's gay and black, so it's totally cool.
Yeah, it's fine.
Get away with it.
We'll have Akeem.
We're talking to him Monday.
Yeah. And plus, he had. Here's the big teaser. Apparently, he got hacked. And somebody
getting blackmailed,
snagged some of his old dick pics.
They're trying to extort him.
Yeah, so we're gonna talk about that too.
I like that. They picked the wrong victim for extortion. The poorest orphan. Like, hey, who also doesn't give a shit about anything?
Or they picked the best because he's just like I've been talking to him on
not
social.
to get money.
I was just texting him the other night, and he was like, "Man, this is awesome." He's like, "The guy doesn't realize that without doing shows and not going anywhere, I have a lack of content, and now you're writing content for me." He's just got his joke pad out as a stand-up, and he's just, I'll just crank all this shit out. This is great, great shit to write about.
All
So,
right, what's the next story?
All right, next one is I don't know. There's lots of bad things going on.
Oh my God,
there's,
Seth.
There's some more. Hurricane season has just begun, but we've already seen many unusual things happen. 3 named storms have already formed in the 2020 Atlantic hurricane season. Cristobal was the earliest sea storm on record. And its remnants are now being tracked through Wisconsin, which I had to fly through last week. It sucked. Bertha made landfall an hour after it formed, which is extremely fast. And all 3 storms so far in the season have brought impacts to the U.S. So it's supposed to be an extremely busy hurricane season.
Okay.
Sorry, guys. I just clicked off it.
We knew when we hired you can't read it.
Yeah. No, I keep clicking.
I kind of identify with this Micah lady now. And I want to find
give Seth back.
Yeah, I want to find a show that can just.
Can we give you the?
You might be better suited for another show. I don't think I'm cut out for this.
God damn it, guys! Listen, a busy start to the hurricane season doesn't always guarantee conditions will remain that way. Historically, Atlantic tropical cyclone activity through June 30th
he's trying to go fast.
Has had very relationship with
Seth was too hard to take care of. It's we're gonna give him away.
I wanted my MMA guy with just a sprinkling of CTSD.
CTE, buddy.
CTE. Sorry.
And PTSD.
I'll remind you of my brain dead disease. There you go.
So yes, it's gonna be an active hurricane season, but here's the problem: every single year, for as long as I can remember, every news station always tell me this year it's going to be an
spicy.
It's always.
So when you've been told that every single year, when it is, you're like, okay, you told me that every year. So it's almost the boy who cried wolf. It's like, am I supposed to believe you because that's all you tell me?
Right.
And then some years
it's like Mike from Mike's Weather Page said. It's all hype.
Yeah.
We get it. We get hurricanes every fucking year.
We're gonna have
just get prepared, right?
Raise your hand if you have a hurricane preparedness kit in your home.
Wait, what do you got, Butler? You got candy. That's it.
He's got a
buttload of
He's got a whole bag labeled True Leave.
I have some
canned
cats that I'll
goods. I
eat.
got gas.
You
I
have
have
cats that you'll eat.
If it come down to it, I'll
gas.
eat the cats. Yeah, if I ran out.
Again,
I
I
don't like
have
my
to
girlfriend's
go, and
cats.
I don't know why I haven't.
Yeah,
left
my
yet.
wife makes me have like batteries. I have 2 lanterns, 2 mag lights.
I'm buying a generator this weekend.
No, really?
You know, my mom got that I want to get. I want to get that deal where you get the generator that they just wire into your panel. I needed. You did that too, right? I need to do that.
Yeah, you can plug into the side of your house.
I should get some supplies.
Yeah, I don't got it.
They got flashlights and batteries.
You know,
but that's about it.
I think with everybody, it's not a bad idea. Just so you don't have to worry about it. Just snag some batteries, snag a flashlight.
What I like to do is I like to wait until the first hurricane pops up and we're in the cone, and then I'm like, oh shit, I didn't prepare. Then I go to the store and everything's sold out.
Right, because everybody else does the same thing. Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh yeah, this has happened every single year. And then I go back to my house, and then it doesn't hit us, and I'm like, see, then it reinforces me not to prepare.
Okay, I like that.
Just like last year.
You never prepare for anything.
No.
so I don't
know,
expect you to prepare for a
But
hurricane.
then when it doesn't hit, it's like Dorian last year. I'm like, that's prepare.
This is what I do.
That's a W for Tom Van.
I won it.
This is what I do. My wife will be like, "Did you get the batteries we need for the flashlights?" And I was like, "I told our special needs adopted kid to do it."
The reason I chose that story is because it's been raining like literally every single day.
Yeah.
And my turtle pond is sad.
How's
sad.
Save
Professor
the turtles.
Yeah.
Did he die?
This very honestly, I was extremely sad for the past like.
If one of
few
them's
days.
special, you should send it back.
What
Did
happened?
he pass?
Okay, so shrimp. Shrimp is my African mud turtle.
That's a turd, right? And
he was found floating upside down the same
my
morning
God.
as Leo went missing. Leo's gone, completely gone. No clue where he is.
Dude, you
the
know
turtle
what?
pond filled up a little bit.
This is
so I
the
think he
saddest
escaped.
news ever.
And the only one
this is my birthday show.
Yeah,
and
it's
this
his birthday
motherfucker
show.
He's talking about his family members dying.
and Professor Green is the only one that's still there alive. Like look, like
He's
and
like,
he's so
"What's
long.
that?"
In the past like 4
Aw.
days, he's like looking his. I see him every morning.
Where's
look
his
up,
friends?
Like, where, yeah,
They
so I
don't
need to
act
get
like
him-
that.
I
No,
need to
there's
get him.
no chance of him even knowing that they're dead.
No, he definitely feels.
So
it.
is your mud turtle not like a water turtle? Did it just like drown?
No. It used to bask and it like buried itself in the corner, kind of up out of the water sometimes.
Did you throw him away, or did you
I
get?
buried him.
You buried him.
Yeah, I buried him.
Were
back
you
there.
sure he
I
was
said
dead?
some
Hollow
turtle.
out
I
the
said some
shell?
turtle words.
Did you
to-
whack the shell a couple times to say,
No.
"Wake up"?
He was stiff and bloated. It was,
Oh.
it was
He's got to
my
clean
God.
out the
But it
shell and
happened on
soak it in
one-
Happy
bleach.
Friday, everybody.
bad. It happened just one night, or then that morning. The turtle was gone and he was dead. So I feel like something.
You don't think Tracy killed him, did you?
No. Either some sort of burglar raccoon broke in and like grabbed Leo and
a
then scared
burglar raccoon.
and scared shrimp.
That's racist.
Oh, interesting.
Hold on. Medium prisoner said, "I'm in prison, and this segment is the worst part of my day."
I'm sorry. It's my life. How do you think I feel?
What was the movie where the Sharon Stone boiled the pet rabbit of the
Fatal
guy?
Attraction?
Fatal Attraction.
Could it be a Fatal Attraction scenario
sweet.
where she was like, "I've had it with these turtles"?
You
He
just
always
gave me.
talks
You
about
just gave me an excuse to go through her phone.
God
Legit,
damn it.
I'm going through her
He
phone
loves.
now.
He loves Professor Green
That wasn't
more
Sharon
than me.
Stone.
I'll kill this motherfucker.
Fatal Attraction wasn't Sharon Stone, by the way.
Oh, was it?
Basic Instinct.
Oh yeah, it was. Fatal Attraction was.
What's her name?
Kim Basinger?
No.
No, the girl
Older.
from the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie where she strips, right? Is that who we're talking about?
No,
No,
that's
no,
Jamie
no.
Lee Curtis.
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Bridget Nielsen or
No,
something?
Glenn
No.
Close. Glenn Close. There it is.
Close.
Ah.
But not good. I'm not a fan of Glenn Close.
Remember when
Sharon Stone, remember when Sharon Stone, everybody's like, "You got to see this movie." She's sitting in her chair when she crosses her legs.
See your beaver.
You can see
But it's not even really.
For a second, you see a beaver.
I can remember somebody telling me, they're like, when she moves her legs across, her legs are open, you can see her pussy line.
Yeah, it wasn't.
It was a
I mean, I
merkin.
guess it was.
It was a merkin.
A lot for the time,
The
but
pussy line.
Remember when What's her name? The tall chick. You just said her name.
Bridget Nielsen.
Bridget Nielsen.
Flavor Flav.
Flavor Flav.
Yeah.
That was a great reality show.
Yeah,
man.
they got married.
That was so good.
Didn't they, or something?
Very bizarre, right?
So good.
Very bizarre.
Yeah.
Does that like? I feel like reality shows they don't matter anymore, right? Because the internet
they're not that grandiose anymore. That was
the internet is taking.
That's where you know.
Well, there's like ones that peak like on the net. I was gonna say on the Netflix. Who am I fucking telling, man?
Getting old.
I say the
where
Zoom.
they're hot for like a week and then they burn out.
Yeah. But it's not like where reality shows make
Obsessed
news
with it,
or like
yeah.
Bridget Nielsen, Flavor Flav. Look at that. No one cares. It's like too much. Yeah.
You
that
know
was
who-
like the same time Rock of Love came out. I loved Rock of Love.
Of course.
Oh, that was a good show.
That was
Rock
good.
of
You
Love,
look
Rock of Love Bus.
Yeah.
Frenchie was on there. And
Frenchie.
that was the time where I was on the Season Ultimate Fighter, and after we all partied in Vegas, and guess who was at the strip
Frenchie?
club working? Frenchie, and I made really good friends with Frenchie.
What does that mean?
I know what that
You
means.
definitely need.
No, I didn't.
You ate
definitely
Frenchie's
need to
ass,
get
didn't
tested.
I was married at the time. I couldn't do anything.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
I like when they go out to the back to find out what Brett Michaels is doing because and he's out there
Punching a punching bag.
full razzle jeans,
Jeans,
pointy boots,
do-rag.
and like dressed as if he's playing a concert with like undershirt, jewelry, some vest, and like a rock star jacket, full headband.
Always do rag headband.
And he's lightly punching a heavy bag behind the house, and they're like, "Oh, we caught him working out." He's got pointy boots on.
Excuse us, Brett. We know that you're getting ready to box someone wearing neon pink razzle boots.
You have bracelets on.
Jeez, yeah, he's just covered in denim. And what's
I dressed like him for like a year after that too. Not gonna lie. I had my pointy cowboy boots for like 2 years.
I know you
that
did.
far
So
off
you
now.
got so into Rock of Love that you dressed like Brett
No,
Michaels?
not
I
Rock of
would
Love,
never
but the
tell
style-
anybody that.
Because I was on the Ultimate Fighter, so I kind of got caught up in like the rocks, like star athlete, rock star type mentality. So I was like,
Affliction shirts, razzle dazzle jeans.
Yes. I was
Ed Hardy.
Where's my rock star energy
not
drink?
yeah, kind of.
I
I thought it
You have any
matched the part.
positive news, Seth?
Yeah. What's next here?
This one's kind of funny.
Oh God, someone died.
No, unless they drank it. Distillery recalls gin bottles mistakenly filled with hand sanitizer.
That is rough.
So how the fuck does that happen? A distillery in Australia said a recall successfully recovered all gin bottles that were mistakenly sold as liquor when they were actually filled with hand sanitizer.
You can say sanitizer. My daughter has not.
Sanitizer.
She has not
She's
copied.
trademarked it.
No, not yet.
No,
Not yet. We're in the beginning stages.
Okay.
Sanitizer just makes more sense.
It does.
It just sounds good.
They said they were actually filled with hand sanitizer containing a glycerol and hydrogen peroxide. A spokesperson said the bottles were identifiable by a lack of a seal or shrink wrapping.
Of juniper smell.
Consumption
Yeah.
Consumption of the product may have side effects including nausea, headaches, dizziness, bloating, vomiting, thirst, and diarrhea.
Yeah, but that's alcohol. Like when
that's exactly.
You're not
you know,
wrong.
like everything you described
You are
is
not
called
wrong.
Saturday morning.
If you drink
know,
this
like-
gin, it'll make you dizzy. You won't be able to walk.
Yeah,
your
it'll make you
hand-eye
go
coordination.
you'll go through your wife's cell phone. Mad.
Yeah,
But I
you'll
looked
punch
up-
some holes
You'll
in
kick
the wall.
the cat.
You're like, okay, all right.
Yeah. And,
It literally doesn't say
you'll
how
also
this
been
happened,
known
though.
to eat a Totino's in the middle of the night.
Ooh, Totino's good.
Totino's is fucking good.
I
dude.
never
when I
liked
ate those,
Totino's.
when I ate those, the bagel bite, the Totino's were bagel bites too.
No!
right? Oh no, the ones that are covered the whole thing. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
Well,
It's like a little-
Totino's does
It's
make
a
bagel
poofy
bites.
pizza.
Yeah, poofy pizza. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
a poofy pizza. It's
sorry.
like there's not. It's
My
like
bad.
a crust on the top, a layer of air.
Seth, you're obviously not one of us, Seth.
I'm not up to date on the NARP food. My bad.
Yeah.
When I was a NARP back in the day, I did eat those.
What is Tracy's favorite NARP food?
I don't know. I don't let her eat it anymore.
Oh my God.
She's young. She can eat whatever she
Yeah.
wants.
Bullshit.
She's like my daughter.
This
My
is where
daughter
you,
can eat
this is where you
anything.
set people up for how they're going to look later in life.
Oh my
But
god!
now you're taking
Torture.
robbing of her
You're
20s.
stunting her fun, man.
Dude,
No,
just
she
as
gets
I'm
plenty.
eating
giving her
Snickers in the
fun.
corner, you're Tracy's sneaking somewhere and eating.
You gotta let her go crazy. First, you don't support her art.
I let her go crazy.
Second-
No, what? No, don't
I'm
say
kidding,
that.
I'm
Don't
kidding,
put me in
I'm
that.
kidding, I'm kidding.
I let her go crazy once a week on Sunday.
What does that mean?
She cheats on. She
You
cheats
could have
on me.
one
cheat meal.
slice of Kraft
cheats on
cheese.
you.
No, probably. No, she has a cheat meal.
I'll wrap your
Well,
vitamin
what's her
in it.
cheat meal? That's what we're asking.
Oh, I missed it.
I did too. Sorry.
I said you could have one piece of Kraft cheese, and Tom said I'll wrap your vitamin in it. That's fucking.
Here's
I did get on some
Wait, hold on. We're hearing what her cheat meal
Well,
is.
every week she's really excited about the cheat meal thing because she's not used to to not having
You're a
regular food. during the
garbage
week.
human being as well, Seth.
So she's like,
Let her live her life, man.
So she's like, "What do you want to have this Sunday? What do you want to have? Let's do." I'm like, I'm
starving.
I'm starving.
Right?
I'm like, I haven't thought about this. I'm like, you tell me what you think you want. We'll plan it.
You
So-
tell me what you think you want.
I'm so
and then
starving.
I'll plan
I'm
it.
so starving. I've been eating my paints.
so last week we made this amazing freaking mac and cheese with like all sorts of different like different cheeses and
Different
stuff like
macs
that.
in there.
Different macs. And this past week we made more cheese. We made grilled cheese, but it was like the Disney version grilled cheese. I put it on my Instagram. It's amazing. Like the best grilled cheese I've ever had in my life.
All right, I'm in.
Thick ass big grilled cheese sandwiches with like slathered with like
Tomato?
No, it was like a mixture of like garlic mayo, extra garlic chunks on the top, and like 4 or 5 different layers of cheese, cream cheese in the center, and fried. Oh,
that sounds phenomenal.
It was good. It was really good.
I do like how I do imagine that Seth doesn't understand what Mac is, and he's like, "This Mac is tiny little cylinders, white. That's rice. That's rice. This Mac is long.
That's a loaf of bread, you idiot. That's a French baguette. That's the biggest rice grain I've ever seen.
Going back to them filling the gin
baguette. I don't eat rice. It's a piece of bread.
The gin bottles full of hand sanitizer. Like I like to imagine that when someone realized it, because for a fact, like since it already went out to distribution, something like someone.
It's the Carl Lewis drop. It's the. It's definitely.
There had to
I would
been,
have known something's up with a no seal on it. I mean, there's opens like
because there had to been the one person that's in like the production, the warehouse that they're like filling the bottles and shit, and then they're just like. Oh shit! Because
your fucking heart stops.
Yeah,
yeah.
Because there was that thing. Oh fuck, it's going down the wrong. They've been filling it.
And then you just don't say anything, right?
It's like with my daughter.
Maybe no one will notice.
You start doing the math. You're like, shit. Am I gonna go to jail?
Right. Poison.
You could.
Yeah.
Then you start surveying the damage. It's like the feeling that I get when my daughter asks for water and I put a cup underneath my RO system.
Oh yeah.
But for whatever reason, I've done this like maybe 50 times, which is insane. It makes me an idiot. But I turn it on and then I'm like, I got time to pee, and I go to pee, and then while I'm washing my hands, I hear water hitting the floor, and I'm like, what is that? And I look out there, I'm like, oh my God! And I run out there and it's just spilling everywhere.
Dude, I do it with my grill all the time where I'll put something on the grill and then I'll tell myself, which is stupid because
no, I set timers now for everything.
Yeah,
I'm like,
I know.
I time everything.
Yeah, use my phone in my pocket just to remind me. Nope, I'll be like, I'm gonna put this chicken on there, close the thing. I'm like, I have to come back in 10 minutes or this.
You don't set you gotta set time.
No, because it's not learning my lesson.
Ultra confidence, right?
Yeah.
Like I'll remember. No, you
Even
won't.
though
You don't remember anything.
This has happened dozens of times
Right.
where I forget, and then I go back inside. I'm playing with the kid.
No bullshit. I've been at no bullshit. I've been at his current house that you've had like what 10 years.
Yeah.
I've been there and you've burned chicken at least 3 times.
Yeah.
Seriously, like that's a lot. That's a high concentration of burning.
And it's the feeling of, oh shit, it's definitely fucked up. But then there's a slight optimism as you run towards the grill, thinking maybe it's not burning, but why wouldn't it be?
Right.
It's been in there for half an hour.
Now you can double down and do the move my dad does, where this is a special. This is where this is probably one of the most embarrassed my dad's ever been. Is he puts the chicken breast on the grill, right? Shuts the lid, times it, goes back out, opens the lid, never lit the grill. And your chicken breasts have just been soaking in propane.
You're supposed to light it before you even stick them on. You're supposed to heat the grill up before.
I don't know.
That's ridiculous.
I'm with your dad.
I got nothing. I don't know how he did it either. I'd love to explain it. Too much of a hero in my eyes. I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
Yeah. One day, my sons, I hope they don't go back and listen to this. They'll be like, oh, God.
Some things you just don't dig into because you don't want to know the level of it.
He's not a hero, and he's worse than even being not a hero. He's worse than regular.
You got one more, or is that it?
I do, but I don't want to read it.
Yeah.
It's a bummer.
It's a bummer.
all bummers.
It's not a bummer.
It's worse than the.
He goes, yeah, I got one. I want to read it. Tom goes, no.
I don't even want to think of what
it's not even that bad. It's just not that interesting, man. Plus, one, I gotta pee. Two,
I know.
Two, it's about the village. Some guy's making a documentary on the people that live in the villages. Go Google it and have.
All right, yeah.
It's just kind of cool.
Yeah. I'm into
My father-in-law lives there now.
What? Really?
Yeah.
I want to get the loofah code down.
No, they got it online.
Oh yeah, there's a whole
You just
system.
Google
I don't
it.
believe what I read online.
No. And if you Google it, you'll see it. Like you drive around there, you'll see it. It's a real thing.
My
But they're
dream.
doing a big documentary on it.
If I could
Fun.
live in a place where I could drive around a golf cart everywhere and higher than Chong, that's my dream.
Okay.
That's
sounds
I'm
good.
literally almost about to buy
I
my
know you're a
golf
fan
cart.
of the hot takes.
Stoney's with me.
And earlier,
Ride to
I'm with you. Earlier in my life, I was not a Jimmy Buffett man, and I made fun of Jimmy Buffett.
Oh, he's in Epstein's Black Book.
But if you ask me right now,
He is.
old Jimmy Egg,
fit up his butt.
Old Jimmy Egg penis. If you were to ask me, do you want to live in Margaritaville, be high as Chong, and drive around a golf cart all day long? I'd be like, yes, I do.
You switched into old man.
I have.
Yeah.
There is a
Who doesn't
chemical-
want? Who
No,
wouldn't want to?
I mean, it's got his own.
I thought you were
fucking-
gonna yell, "Who let the dogs out?"
I did say
He's got it.
Oh, come on.
He's got his own water park for fat old people. It has its own water park for fat old people.
Don't let the eggs out.
Who doesn't want that?
I know. And he's driving a golf
I'm just
cart.
driving around my golf cart. I got a loofah on the top that lets people know how I want to have sex. I'm nude with my egg out.
By the way, if you don't enjoy driving a golf cart, stop listening to the show because you are a crazy person.
It's the only reason I did it.
When other people are like, "Hey man, if you are okay with him taking the Confederate flag out of NASCAR, unfriend me now." Tom goes, his hard stance is, if you don't like driving a golf cart, unfriend me now.
Stop listening to the show.
I like that.
Yeah.
And I support it because my mom has a golf cart, jacked up, super.
that's awesome.
What do you call them? The monstered golf carts. And my mom every afternoon will get on the golf cart with her either water or wine and her dog Maggie, and she will drive through the back field of her house because they love
She
it,
knows.
and it's fucking awesome.
It's literally the only reason I do the foot golf tournament.
I know.
Literally the only reason.
It's why most people
Yeah,
play golf.
charity's
golf
great,
is not that fun. It sucks.
Agreed.
Yeah,
But you
I
get
agree.
to drive around a golf cart
Golf
drunk.
carts are fucking awesome, dude.
Yeah. All right. Let's take a break. We were long. We'll come back, do a short dump them out, and
we'll be all right.
Dump 'em out.
More local hip hop. This is E-Turn. The name of the song is Not Me.
Started off like this. Let's do it.
Maybe Tom will freestyle. We'll be back with more A Mediocre Time right after this. 1-844-TOMNDAN or show@tomandan.com for emails. Welcome back to A Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Dan.
I'm
Samantha,
Tom.
our producer's here. Butler's here. Chris Fisher stopped by. Thanks for stopping by, buddy. Good to see you. Seth Petrozelli on news, and Butler is pooping? Pooping or paying?
Or he's sneaking more candy.
Let's do some dump 'em out. If you know what, if you don't know what this is, it's where we take basically anything that we listed throughout the week. We compile all the garbage, and at the end of the show on Fridays, we like to just kind of hot take everything, just rapid fire.
And I'll say this dump them out is brought to you by Burn Pest Control.
That moonshine did stumble us more than
It did,
normal.
yeah.
That is an aggressive drink.
But Burn Pest Control is a new sponsor of ours. Actually,
Welcome to the fold.
Yeah. Used Burn the other day when I thought I had those termites. He came by, treated everything.
Kabam.
And now they're my pest control go-to, and they're treating all our houses. So if you need some pest control, Burn Pest Control, a good family-owned business.
BYRNE.
Yes,
by the way.
BYRNE.
Proud sponsor, I believe, of Semantics.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go through these.
All right, where do you want to start? We did my birthday.
New favorite QVC pitchman.
I sent this to myself. There's this new guy on QVC. And I have to get the video to show you guys. This guy is fucking amazing.
QVC still around? Like that's.
Oh yeah. Well, this isn't QVC. I gotta clarify. This is not QVC. This is another channel that's quite popular, and it's like a jewelry TV channel. And because COVID has happened, and with everything rolling out, there have been, and I'll go ahead and engage this so everybody else can see it. But this is a new channel that I believe is based out of Texas called Shop LC.
Okay.
All right.
So if you've listened to this show for any amount of time, you know I love home shopping. I love QVC. I love Jewelry TV, or JTV.
What does the LC stand for?
I looked it up, and now I'm blanking on looking it up.
Oh.
I was really high when I looked it up, but Shop LC, I can't remember. But they're jewelry based. A lot of these newer QVC
Liquidation channel.
There it is. A lot of these newer channels that are coming around don't follow the textile model that like a QVC or a HSL or what's it called? HSN? Home Shopping Network.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They don't follow. I see that one I don't really watch as much. I'm a QVC guy, you know, like I enjoy it.
You're loyal.
I love the Q card, you know, like that's your credit card. They call it the Q card. So clever. So clever.
Okay.
This is blowing my mind.
And-
I had no idea about any of this stuff.
And
What
there's
is
this new guy.
It's useless information.
What
Seth.
the hell?
There's
His
this-
anxiety's so high. He likes watching mindless shopping channel stuff.
Yeah, it's great. So there's this,
no drama.
There's this new guy named Sean that popped up on this channel. Now, this isn't the exact clip that Andrea and I were watching, but it's very similar to the type of hijinks that Sean pulls when he's up here throwing around some jewelry. So, without further ado, I'm going to give you, this is Sean from Shop LC, my new favorite show.
Known fact that in her college days, my grandmother wrote a paper about the Byzantine era. Just a little fun fact. So
wow.
Makes me think of her. Excuse me, a little choked up. Makes me think of her when I see this bracelet, because it is something that she knew a lot about that era. Reminds me, funny story, reminds me, summer of 1982. She was taking care of me, and we had just finished watching Different Strokes and was waiting for the Facts of Life to come on. As millions of people did back in that era. And yes, that's the one. Yes, that's the exact one. And a commercial came on for Barlow's Foods, and they had a sale on cling peaches, cans of cling peaches, 20 cents a can. She loved cling peaches. I think you should go there and pick up a can of cling peaches. So she said, you know what? Let's do that. So we got in the car, drove to the store, walked in. Second she steps in the store, very second she's inside the door, she says, "Bargain alert!"
Oh my God.
I was not expecting that.
That motherfucker got me.
He got him. He got everybody.
What is happening?
He took you one way.
This guy's insane, right?
He's a crazy person. This is why I watch fucking QVC.
Why did he scream bargain
He
alert?
went on a tandem to get a sidetrack
He
you.
pulled you in. You thought he was going to tell you this crazy story about his grandma. Nope. All of it was a lie.
Bargain alert.
What? They do that when there's a bargain alert? I'm
Look,
confused.
Seth.
This is stupid.
No, okay, hold on. Sometimes
No, stupid.
Beat up the
TV.
No.
just hold on a second.
Thud you on the head right now.
Let me try to explain. He's so mad. Now, let me try to explain this.
Go punch the bargain, Seth.
So when you watch these shows, when I sit down to watch these shows, a lot of times what they want to do is they want to sit there and they want to draw you in and they want to outline the product that they're doing, and they'll have something out there. Bargain alert! Bargain alert! See, I did it to you. I did it to you.
Why does it say 1 equals 1?
I did it.
Yeah, exactly. Dummies. One dummy equals one dummy.
Isn't that great?
No, everyone that watches this should go to hell.
That's why I watch QVC, because the people they're insane.
So is
And did that lady throw it on purpose?
Yeah, of course. It's
Yeah,
fake.
yeah.
Fake
She
as
knew.
fuck.
She knew. He
Well, I
was
don't know.
gonna,
She thought he didn't know he was
she
crazy
knew
too.
he was going to do the old bargain alert.
I'm
And there's
pulling a bargain
thousands-
alert at the bar tonight.
Okay,
Yeah, I know what that means.
hold on. Let's examine who is watching this. Like,
I
what's
am.
the audience? Okay,
Exactly.
Daniel.
It's
Yeah.
Meemaws, 100%.
The people in the villages, they're
You
doing
know, you reeled me
documentary on
in. I'm into now.
You're in?
I'm in.
Well,
I'm cute.
You say
So,
Meemaws,
where-
but my
where do you
Meemaw
watch this
watches
at?
the news.
Permission to plead my case. Permission to plead my case.
Ah.
When you're higher than Chong,
Mm-hmm.
that's good watching. I cry laugh
like
when this
cringe.
guy, Andrew and I were watching it, and the guy's like, he was doing something, and he's like, and normally these type of diamonds take years, and I mean years, for them to get to a point. and then Andrew is like, what the fuck? And I'm like, bah! And then I'm really high, and I'm like, this is the greatest thing I've ever watched. I mean,
Does that get
all right,
people
we
to
laughed
buy?
and we laughed. Well, no.
Does it get Meemaws to buy? Like,
Yes.
they're already
Yeah.
they
It's a
said-
bargain, bro.
I know
Hold on.
plenty of memos that watch this shit.
But the price
and buy
is-
shit.
the
They
price is
call.
there.
They call in. They don't even go on the website.
What?
Fucking
Why?
show them Amazon.com and buy some shit.
I've
there.
never seen Tom and Seth agree and be more mad at the same thing.
It just, I don't understand.
Now, you guys, you watch all this. You're watching. Oh, what do you watch? Oh, some documentary about a windsurfer with one arm, or this You're watching all this garbage. I'm watching good improv television.
That's literally wasting my life. Like, I literally feel depressed and have an existential crisis watching.
No, this is NARP. This is NARP brain junk food. That's all
Well,
it is.
I agree
man.
with you.
Now,
It's all it
because-
is.
Okay.
Calorie free too, bro.
Yeah.
All right, what's interesting about this is there's a lot of similarities that we've gone over between Seth and Daniel and their mindset and their anxiety levels and their hypochondria and stuff. But
Speaking, I got a blood test this week. By the way.
She says, "Target alert!"
Yep, I did.
so, about what'd you think you had?
Well, remember the itchiness I talked to you about a couple of weeks ago?
What did you? What do you got?
I googled, of course, and of course there was like liver problems, kidney problems,
Yeah.
beginning stages to lymphoma, and I was like, "Fuck, yep, dead." So I went to the doctor. I said, "He's like, I don't think it's that." I'm like, "Well, when's the last time I had a blood test?" He's like, "It's been 2 years."
Wait, your
It's-
doctor? I don't think that.
he's like, "I don't believe it's that." He's like, "I think you're using something else you're
Oh,
not used
Seth is
to."
coming. Give him the janitor.
So I'm like, well, so I had to beg him to
He's
get.
wasting the doctor's time.
I had to beg him to get a blood
I don't
test.
know why you're itching, man.
So I and then he's like, "Oh, you'll have your results in 4 or 5 days." 4 or 5 days go by. This is like, I was like,
well, that's a good sign. No, that's a good sign.
And I thought that I was like, no news is good news. I was like, okay, good. But then
With
I
Gary
started,
Gnu.
yeah. But then I started thinking, and I'm like, I called like 6-7 days. I'm like, hey, where's my blood test? What? It's like, oh, he hasn't reviewed it yet. He has it on his desk. I'll call you in like 30 minutes. So they call me in 30 minutes. As soon as I see that it's them, I'm fucking sweating, nervous as shit. Like I'm about to get the call, like I'm dying for no reason, I guess. But she says, "Oh, everything's good, everything's fine." He said everything's normal. I'm like, "Okay, will it be on my doctor app?" I have a doctor application.
I do
All
too.
A Hilo app.
Yeah, I got that.
Yeah, okay. So I'm like, "Well,
Hold on, what is that?
It's called a Hilo app. So all your doctor records, medical records, go to this app on your phone."
Nah,
So-
that's the future.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
it's like this.
Walked in. Second she steps in the store. Very second she's inside the door. She says, "Target alert!"
It's just like that.
So you wanted to get the results.
I
on your
want to
app.
see them for myself because I don't trust that. Yeah, they're fine. Sure, they're fine. Yeah, and then of course
Yeah,
I
sure, the professional
Yeah, what does he
reading
know?
it.
He's a fucking doctor.
But does the dum-dum that reads sad news, has he looked at it?
Yeah, and I looked at it, and I don't even want to say what's high because everyone on the chat's going to be, oh, they're going to look it up and say I'm dying. So I don't want to say that. My creatine levels were a little high.
Oh,
because you're taking creatine.
But I'm not.
Yeah, you've been trying to thump your egg penis a little more and juice it up a
damn
little
it.
bit. Trying to make it thick. I need a bigger
Hold
egg. We're gonna need a bigger egg.
Hold on, your creatine levels right.
My bot.
Who even gets
was it
tested
back
for
to
creatine?
back to? Well, it's part of the normal blood test.
No, your creativity levels were low.
That makes more sense.
The creatine I thought was done in '98.
No, I know what they said. Your preteen levels were high in
That was
your
Excedrin.
closet.
Results.
The Zinedrin.
Yeah, so it said the creatine levels were high. Yeah, you guys got your thing sucks in here. Wi-Fi. And also
Your reading
my
sucks.
bun levels were high.
Oh, that's bad.
Okay, big buns.
And that's what I said. I was like, well,
what were they?
Oh, you better pick out a coffin if you got high bun
my
level.
my bun level was 26 and
Oh,
and
What?
26 buns.
what kind of buns?
normal range of buns is 6 to 24.
Sesame seed. Don't say
what are we
sesame
talking?
seed.
So they said that
What are
it
we
could
talking?
be
What kind of buns? Hamburger, bow,
kidney buns, I guess.
Oh, high
Worse.
buns.
Tastes like shit.
So my liver and all the enzymes are good except my bun creatine ratio was a little high.
I know what that means.
Greeting bump.
So
you know what they say.
I started freaking out. I call him back. I'm like, you said, and I got the voicemail because they're closed after one on Wednesday. I'm like, you said everything was normal. I'm looking at the test.
I'll kill you.
I'll kill you. In bright red, it says that they're not normal. So why wasn't I told this? And what does this mean? Blah, blah.
By the way, that's exactly what I did when my liver enzymes went up.
Oh, my
spiked.
God.
I found it because it's still. You know
This-
why?
this
You know why they didn't
drives
tell
doctors
you?
crazy, right?
Tell me.
Yeah.
The reason they didn't tell you is because even though it might have been elevated, it wasn't elevated to a level that would have ever made them ever think anything's wrong.
It was 2 points above the normal, which is like nothing. But
Right.
Meanwhile,
Still.
I have iron toxicity. I'm gonna die.
Oh, I forgot I was talking to I'll have to talk to Stoney.
I gotta
because he
wait
don't
till
care.
August to get.
Butler's
I turned to Samantha. I'm like, "This is you're driving doctors crazy." She's like, "Yes." I'm like, "Oh yeah, I forgot her high iron."
Yeah, I'm dying.
Freaking out.
I'm less of
Meanwhile,
a
I've been a doctor in
hypochondriac.
10 years other than my wife.
I didn't even know you could look at your blood test after.
right.
I didn't even know I had blood inside of me.
I'm not even joking. The last time I got a blood test, I didn't even get the results. They had COVID happened, and then my doctor never.
You've got
called me.
COVID?
No, I'm just saying I did a blood test back in January or whatever for my annual physical or whatever, and never.
if it's bad, I don't want to know.
Never looked at it or never even checked the doctor. I think I went to the doctor to get my Adderall. We never even talked about it.
Well, that usually means that it was fine.
of course, that's what I assume. I was like, well, if anything was wrong, they would tell me or whatever. But the doctor must hate the fact that their patients can now look at their test
because it makes them right.
Yeah.
Because makes them double check their work.
Well, no, they used to do the
get
same thing, but
bothered.
they would just send you a postcard in the mail.
What do you mean?
Well, like
That's before my time.
Watching QVC postcards in the mail.
No.
This
This
is
is
old 44. They used to ride on a horse up to your house.
You're really showing your age.
Gave me my blood.
Deliver the decree.
By the
of
way,
blood
old
test.
44 is Obama, by the way. No, like, seriously, just so you guys know, they do the same thing now. The patient portal is the new thing, but traditionally, medical offices were supposed to either call you, and that was real weird because they didn't like to do that over the phone, or
That's what my doctor did this time, and I found it weird.
mine does that now.
I don't like it.
I don't like it either.
I
It's
gotta
weird,
change doctors.
But they do a thing.
A postcard says you've got AIDS.
My lady, remember the lady?
Congratulations.
Remember the
fuck?
lady that we were both gonna go? Like I went to the new lady, and then we were talking about the thing, and then she asked me, "Do you want me to send you a postcard, or you don't want us to call?"
They didn't ask me nothing.
And I said, "Well, I'm a bit of a trouble patient, so I would like for you to call. But now I think I'm better with just send me the postcard.
Send me the postcards to the mailman.
Yeah.
Knows exactly what my
So
fucking problems
what
are too.
they're supposed to do, I believe. I could be wrong, but I
drops it off like this.
I think they're supposed to call if something's wrong for you to come in and do follow up.
That's the worst.
And if everything's okay, send the postcard and no call. I think that's industry.
Get with 2020 and put that shit on patient portal so I don't have to wait for your call or wait for snail mail.
They do.
I don't got nothing from the doctor.
I got all my
They literally
stuff now.
called me and that was it.
The postcard says cancer on it. Then you turn around and you're like, oh, that one palm tree has Christmas lights. That makes me feel better.
Snowman made of sand.
All right, what else we got on this? Dump them out.
I don't know how I got to that topic. I'm sorry.
It's fine.
Tom's tunic.
What do we want to
Oh, I watched Star Wars.
Which one?
Which one?
The first one.
Oh, okay.
A New Hope.
What, you've never seen it before?
Yeah.
No, this guy doesn't watch movies.
No, I don't watch movies. And all of you guys have been telling me, like it's on Disney Plus. It's free. Go watch it. So Andrea and I.
Wait, A New Hope or Episode 1?
New Hope.
Okay.
Yeah, episode
No,
3.
that's better.
Right? Four. Episode 4. Because apparently
You had never seen it before?
George Lucas is a fucking idiot. Doesn't know how to put his movies go in order. You
That was
fucking big
weird.
fat turd. You fucking fat nerd. You're an idiot.
Indiana Jones out of order too, by the
Hey,
way.
guess what? He goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's the way it goes. It doesn't go 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3. Boom, boom, boom. You're an idiot. So I watched the first Star Wars, the one where they get caught in what I assume is a trash compactor.
Yep.
And
cool.
there's like turds and octopus in there.
monsters,
By the way, anybody that likes that movie, you're a fucking idiot. It's slow. It's boring. It's a hunk of shit. Even being remastered, hunk of shit. The acting is shitty. The characters are shitty. Everything about it fucking sucks.
You're about to make a lot of enemies.
I'm just telling you what you already know. It's not good. It's just not a good movie. It's all nostalgia. Sorry. It has to be. I looked at it with fresh eyes, and I'm creative, and I love creative shit. Not good.
Here's the problem.
I watched it about 3 years ago for the first time, and I was just like,
It's got, you know.
It's not good.
When
It's
did
not
it come
good.
out?
that was 77?
I started falling asleep during it, and I had to power through.
You got to remember, it's 70. Yeah, it's
slow.
It's got
things are slow.
1977 pacing and a
those sweet transitions.
You're watching with 2020 ADD eyes. We need shit fast paced now.
it's
Like
bad.
in the 70s, there was nothing. It was like you could watch a slow movie. You're like, let's wait to see how this
plays out.
We got time. We got time. What else are we doing? Nothing else to
We're
do.
like, I gotta look at my phone. This, that. Like, movies nowadays have
By
to
the way, you're
be
speaking
ADD.
to a man who has multiple Star Wars tattoos on his body.
Star Wars, look, if you like what you like. I'm covered in tattoos. I've got elephants on. I've got my daughter on my body and myself on my body. But I'm just saying.
Wait, who has tattoos?
It's not
Butler.
good. It's not good.
Sorry.
Oh shit, Butler's probably like really bad.
I feel
He don't go.
I'll end.
I've already given up Decker in the back.
I know people are going to be pissed, but I'll end that part by saying this: if I'd watched it as a kid, I'd probably be just as attached as you are. But watching it at the age of 43,
yeah.
As a kid who had all the toys and stuff like that, when I was younger, it really kind of that's what helped evolve into my love of Star Wars.
And
I mean,
my dad
obviously,
was
if I were
really
to start
into
watching it now, I would fucking hate it. I hate Star Trek.
I
It's
love
stupid.
G.I. Joe, and watching the